This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
It's Eric Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel, and joining me, as always, each and every week from the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
If you're just listening to us for the first time, where the hell have you been? But thank you for doing that. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, we do appreciate that. If you're listening to us in any way, shape, or form, sometime in the immediate future on demand through Apple, Spotify, places like that, do us a kindness. Go over there and leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. It just takes mere moments of your effort. And I know in today's day and age, that's like asking somebody for a loan, and they don't want to do that. But get off your lazy ass and go and do us that kindness so we can continue doing this for you. And if you want to join us live each and every week, go over and hop into our live rooms over on YouTube and on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel, and you can be part of the program. You can interact. We'll talk. No big whoop. Jordan, how are you, my friend? What's going on with you this week?
Oh, not too much.
That's great. Moving on.
Yeah, let's just go to the next thing. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of tired this week. It's like we were talking before the show, where it's like you have these weeks where just everything seems to just be happening, so you don't really realize like time or what's going on. Like I had a concert we'll get into, staying up late when I thought I would be going to bed early, doing stuff with you talking, and just like time just kind of got away from me, and I've just been running through like just a haze all week long.
Right.
Like, I didn't even realize it was Thursday until this morning. I'm like, oh crap, I got stuff to do. So yeah, it's just been one of those weeks.
It has been one of those weeks where we get to hour or so before showtime. We try to update the prep sheets throughout the week with little things that hit here and there, mentions, notes, things to talk about, important things, semi-important things, completely unimportant things. You know how it goes.
Those are my favorite.
And this week I go and I look and I go, I didn't write anything down this week. And I know I never do that. Like I never have something where it's like I don't have something to talk about. I've got a few things we can talk about, but I never go through the week where I'm not constantly updating and sending show prep and stuff over to have it put together on our sheets and what have you. And this is just one of those weeks where apparently real life creeped in and took over, and I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it at all, that I had to live, as the kids say, IRL instead of my own world of delusion.
Yeah, you were doing handyman work. You were getting a lot done in your own personal life. So,
I was building things. I shouldn't be building things. These hands were not meant for that kind of labor. They're not meant for anything, really.
Those
but
soft hands shouldn't be putting anything together.
They're moisturized. I have a lot of product. I go and I have
Body Works lotions on there.
I have spa treatments. I have all this kind of stuff to make it look like that I haven't done a damn thing in my life involving hard labor. And this week went against everything that I've believed in my entire life in existence on this planet. What we're referring to is I had to build a room. I had to gut a room and build a room. So was building a brand new room for the kid, a playroom, if you will. The original playroom that I was supposed to have was taken up during the pandemic and made into office space. And it continues to be office space, so that I couldn't all right, well, I can't reconstruct this thing for the kids' room. So I went and reconverted another room that I never expected to do anything with. And lo and behold, it is 99% done. The only thing that has to be finished are I'm in my new era of life where I have to build things for the kid and have giant boxes that these things come in. We'll discuss that in a moment. But I was building a brand new playroom, stripped the floor. There's concrete slabs under the floor. So I'm not putting in wood or any of that stuff. So I went and I got, they make this carpeted tile that you can put in and seal it and tack it together and all of that stuff. So I ordered it thinking, all right, it'll come in a couple weeks. Took over a month for that stuff to come in. And because it came from overseas, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was made here in the United States, and that was not the case. So they finally showed up. I have giant boxes that are filled to the brim with carpet tile, and that was an adventure. I learned how to do all of that, how to clean and fill in cracks and stuff on the concrete flooring, and then put all the tile on there, and cutting it for size and room design. Got all that done, installed lighting and color lighting, because the kid is obsessed with apps that change light bulbs and colors and things like that. So put that in there so she can have the app on her little iPad and change it to whatever she wants. And what else did I have to do? Oh, I still have to do the tinting.
Yeah, the windows.
The windows, because it gets so much direct sunlight in that room that thing is going to bake, even if you have the AC on full blast. So
go in there, she's all passed out.
Yeah, dehydrated. Just
put like a little hydro pack on her back instead of tinting. It's cheaper.
So so I've been researching window tinting that they send you in rolls that you custom cut to fit the window slots of your expensive windows. I'm not taking those windows out to buy new tinting windows or self-tinting windows that they also make, because those are expensive. And Anderson seems to have a lock on the Windows market. So you can do the self-tinting. So that's what I'm going to do once I figure out which tint. It's not that easy. It's not like, all right, sort of dark and really dark like you see on cars. There's blue tinting. There's like a blue-green tinting. There's gray tinting. There's like a brown tint. Like, there's all different kinds of tinting based on seasons and locations of where you are in the world.
Well, this is what I have. So with my house, I have stairs going up to the second floor, and on those stairs, they have these little block windows. And our houses are built kind of close to everybody. They're kind of packing everybody here in Arizona. So the neighbor's house is so close that I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get some tinted on those windows. I'm doing the same thing. I want tint on the windows. My first problem was that I ordered the wrong size. So mine's like a 20 by 20 window, and I ordered it too short. So I have to get different roll to get it on there. But you're right. There's different ones. Like some of them are built for daytime use.
A Sharpie, the colored Sharpie, and just fill in on the side.
Right.
There. Like a Photoshop. When you have a square and you have to turn it into an HD print.
It's all black.
Yeah, you just take the original print and then blur it in the background so it fills the empty space.
That would be funny. But you're right. There's different kinds of tint. I've been finding ones that, like, during the day, it's like mirrored almost, where they can't see in, but you can see out. But at night, all the light goes through. So it kind of defeats the purpose, because when the lights are on, people can see in your house anyway. And I'm like, no, I want total, like, no one can see in, but I can see out type situation. So I'm still trying to find
that illegal
a good
tinting
one
that you get pulled over for. But this way it's on a house and they can't do shit about it.
Yep. Yeah. I've been doing the same thing. And I'm like, I saw the blue tint ones. I think like gold tint.
I saw some tints because I was seeing the design and the color contrast, but then you have to research the quality of the producer of the tint, because like you were saying, you have the tint on and you could still see through. Yeah. Some of that tint doesn't do the full, I don't want to say like UV protection, but whatever it is to help cool a house or a car in the tinting. It's just a color filter, like when they used to put on old lighting for Hollywood and for television, the gels. It's just like a film gel that you would put on the glass, so it just turns the room that color with the sunlight coming in, not really deflecting the parts of the sun that the sun that's coming into the room that heats everything up. So then you got to go through UV quality, and there's a grading system, and it's just, I hate real life stuff.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad that they're like, they make it almost too easy to use, where it's just like just a cling, so it just sticks on. You don't just wash the window, click it, and put it on there. You don't have to apply anything. You don't have to do anything special, because I want to do the laziest job possible, but I want it to work. Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing the same thing, just kind of researching all that stuff. So that's the last part I got to do. But the flooring's in. Most of her toy sets are in there. I have a couple of things that she got for Christmas that I never built because just didn't have the room where her toys were at the time. So now I got to build the rest of that stuff. And then
it was hard trying to keep this a surprise because kids they like surprises, but they want to know right away. It's like, oh, I have a surprise for you. There's a surprise coming. What is it? I can't tell you. It's a surprise. Okay, what is it? You'll see when it gets here. Okay, what is it? Like, it doesn't register to them. It's a surprise. And when you're trying to build a room, all they want to do is come. What's behind that door? Why can't I come in there?
They want to help and be part of it.
Right. So that never got to be a surprise. I was in there, the kid's helping out. And at one point, the kid really wants to help out. And I was like, you sure you want to? Yeah. What do you want me to do? So I said, there's a package of some edging for the carpets. You know, when you don't have, when you get to the wall, you add this other thing to it. So it looks like the carpet is, I don't want to say crimped, but it looks like it's finished, like it won't unravel and stuff. And I was like, all right, go over there and get me that package of that. Okay. And then takes the package, puts it on some other packages, and then sits on the thing. What are you doing? I'm sitting. I'm like, yeah, I need that. Please bring that over here. No. What do you mean, no? No, I'm using it. No, I need it. You need to bring it over here, please. No. So it's like, this doesn't help.
The worst helper.
It is the worst.
Just the worst.
It's the worst. You get what you pay for. Free labor just is not good. But yeah, so there was a lot of delays because work, life, losing interest at some points. It's just like, I'm going downstairs to play a game. I'm not dealing with the rest of this for the night. Get everything built. It's all good. Got to build the last couple of toys, play set things, and then I can hand it off and go, here you go, done. Never have to deal with this again. It's completely yours. Mess it up all you want. I am not caring. I've got, it's a combination of brick and wall, and the paint on the wall is this stuff that is supposed to make it easy. So if they draw with markers or crayon, it's easy to wipe off and it doesn't stain.
Gotcha.
I forgot what it's called. Damn it. You'll see it if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or any kind of paint place, Benjamin Moore. You'll see the kids section where they have all the weird colors and designs for a kid's room, but then they have like the higher end kids paint that prevents
fingerprints, dirt.
Like if they put
crayon.
stickers on there and all that stuff that you can peel them off easy, it doesn't leave the tackiness. If they're drawing with markers, that it's got some kind of coating in it where you just spray something else on it and it wipes right off. So you're not dealing with, it's essentially dealing with vandalism, you know? You have a construction site and you've got the makeshift walls around there, and then you're just pulling down bills and wiping off graffiti every day. So yeah,
those little things that pop out of your carpet, like in Demolition Man, where like they would tag and it would go just you're like, all right,
because you got that, and then potty training going on, and trying to teach them about how do you use the 3 shells. It's just a difficult time in my life. Building the stuff, the kids stuff. I'm in that portion of my life that I'm building. Everything this kid gets now has to be built and put together. So that is now my job to open things up, put batteries in if it's got to be completely built, or you take things out of a box and go, there's not even this, like there's a whole sheet or two of stickers you have to put on something in the right spots to make it look like what it's supposed to be. And the bigger play sets you put together have the giant sticker sets. You've got the Allen wrenches. You've got, some of them have the specialty keys that are not even Allen wrenches. They look like it looks like a star with too many points. Mm-hmm. So you've got that, or whatever nonsense you're putting together. Then you have these gigantic boxes left over. When you open it up, you have a box that maybe stands 4 or 5 feet tall, and you open it up, and only 3 feet of the box is being used. It's like buying potato chips. Half to 3/4 of the bag is just air. Same with these boxes, and I have outside. I just have all these boxes to go out for recycling. And I bring everything out, and then I get asked, like, well, why didn't you break them down? And I went, what? It's like, yeah, why didn't you just flatten the boxes? And I turn around, and it's just like an army of giant boxes lining the side of the property. And I went, oh, my God. So I had to go back out there, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not getting the box cutter to slice all this down. I just turned them on an angle and jumped on them and flattened them all that way. And
I was gonna say, some of them aren't easy to do, and that's why like you have to get that box cutter and cut pieces and cut them out, because it's like some of the bigger pieces of furniture come with like 8,000 pounds of tape wrapped around every
and they have the
angle,
reinforced corners maybe in there. Yeah, with the big like bronze looking staples holding the reinforced corners, and you got to rip that stuff out because that's not recyclable and they won't take that. Or you've got the not just styrofoam, but like the static cling foam,
the thin little ones,
right? That's on top of anything that's involving glass or some kind of meant to be smooth surface. You got to peel that off, and static electricity. It's just a whole nonsense of I mean, this isn't anything new to people who have had kids. This has been going on for at least the last 40 years.
Right. But now I'm kind of thinking about it after we talked about it last night a little bit, and we're talking about it now. Everyone is always so hard up to save the environment, to do all these things. We're trying to do all
I'm
this.
not.
I know.
I want the styrofoam containers
we're staunchly
back
against
at
the environment.
Food. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hold on.
How come no one's ever really going
I was
after
down in, I think I was down in Florida when I had Chick-fil-A. The cups for Chick-fil-A down south are not the cups that they have up here. They had the old-fashioned styrofoam, and so did Wawa. If you stopped at a Wawa to go to the soda fountain, giant styrofoam cups. I could not have been happier. You know why? Because my beverage stayed cold for the remainder of the time that I still had that cup. It was barely melted. It was fantastic. I don't care. Bring that back in a big, big way.
I'm just surprised no one's complained that much about how things get packed nowadays. Because you're right. You've got the big block styrofoams on the ends that block anything from shifting too much. You got that thin layer ones. Right. Sometimes you get little thin blocks. You get styrofoam to fill every crevice. Like they haven't figured out a different way to do this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Kool-Aider in the chat saying, hello, Kool-Aider, by the way. Sonic has styrofoam down here too. Yeah, something about the I don't give a fuck down south attitude is fantastic. Because it's not like the East Coast I don't give a fuck attitude, or the major city I don't give a fuck kind of attitude when it comes to the rest of the country. Down there, they know what works, and they're not going to be dissuaded from it. They know what works down there, and if they're going to serve their food in styrofoam containers and styrofoam cups, maybe I should be looking down south and for a relocation possibility.
I always miss like the old styrofoam, like McDonald's hamburger container, especially when they did the one where they kept the hot side hot, the cold side cold.
That's the McDLT. Everywhere. Nobody liked that.
So giant chunks of styrofoam, man. It just felt
all right.
Better.
If
I'm not talking about the sandwich sucked.
The sandwich did suck. It did. I know what you're talking about, but it was also clunky. Like when you had the clamshell for the Big Mac or the Quarter Pounder. Those were easy. Even the chicken nuggets came in a styrofoam container that had a little divot in there to put the sauce thing in it. So you could have the nuggets and the sauce container inside the styrofoam. Like it was brilliant engineering. But, environmental tree huggers, climate change, it's killing the whales and ocean stuff. Well, something's got to go,
It's funny because half these things that are paper that they're wrapping everything in always have that film on it. That's, I'm sure, chemicals. I'm sure it's just some kind of like weird chemical that they line it to keep the paper from not dissolving right away. So I don't think we're doing any better. Bring back the styrofoam.
I am looking for the McDLT commercial, not the one with.
Wasn't Jason Alexander in one of them?
I'm not looking for that one. There's another one. Oh, I found it. Okay. There's another one that just explains the McDLT like it's a scientific revelation. You're not going to believe.
They had to explain to everybody.
You're not going to, and I missed that in commercials. When it was simple, it's just showing you the product. It looks too good to be true, and they're telling you like a thick half-pound all-American beef patty, a melted cheese. Like
American cheese.
Just do that. We don't need a fucking Travis Scott integration with the meal just because, look, it's a 6-piece with sweet and sour sauce and a Sprite. Okay, well, this is a celebrity meal. Yeah, it's also garbage. No one wants that. Maybe the Sprite, but whatever. Point being that any food places right now, if they just did commercials, just not all the the pomp and circumstance around it. Just show the food the best possible way you could. Explain what it is. Have a slow narrator doing it. You don't think that in today's day and age, where everybody's can't remember anything and their attention span is maybe 2 to 5 seconds, if you have that, you don't think that takes you off the phone to look at the TV or look down at your phone if that's playing as a pre-roll before your video?
They don't really do any regular slogans much anymore either. Remember, where's the beef? Although everyone had something that caught you, and now it's
I talk about it all the time. The Miller commercials in the 80s, 70s and 80s with the athletes and the comedians and the actors. Tastes great, less filling. It was just comic. It was written like Caddyshack. Mm-hmm. As a mini version of it, and those things were fantastic. They don't do that shit anymore. They just throw some modern song that doesn't cost them much for royalties and throw it in there, and then just people dancing around showing you the new pajamas you can get for Christmas at Target. That's the kind of commercials you get now. Anyway, McDLT, let's just take a moment to laugh. Oh, actually, hold on. Lucy Moody in the chat saying, McDonald's isn't delicious anymore like it used to be. Even the fries are whack. Yeah, the French fries, still good, but not what they used to be. And that's because 20-something years ago, they got in trouble because the oil they were frying the fries in had beef stock in it. And people were saying, well, that's not good for vegetarians and vegans and all this other nonsense. So they had to switch up the oil. And even though they over-salted them now, which is fine if you can get salt on them, because the last couple of times I remember going to McDonald's, they barely salt anything. They just take the shaker and go like that one thing and they're done. What are you conserving for the company? You saving them a few cents does not mean it's saving your job. You can see by the $20 an hour minimum wage increase that your whole store now is filled with touchscreens and there's no registers anymore. So stop being a skinflint. In fact, you should be overdoing it because fuck them. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the fries. Yeah, the fries are still good. They're okay. They're not as good as they used to be. Because I used to have the, if this is what it is, beef tallow?
It was beef tallow, yeah.
Okay, cool, later. Thank you. Beef tallow was in the oil that they cooked it in, and it made them amazing. Not the case anymore. And then all their food size shrank. Remember, if we can find, I'll find that too, but the McChicken, when that came out, I think the late 80s, was a big thing. It also had a styrofoam container. It was yellow and blue. Yellow with blue writing, styrofoam container for it. And then they started doing those paper rings around it when the sandwiches were too big,
I hate those.
as they had to wrap them in the paper. The McChicken sandwich was huge. It's maybe $2.50 together now. You can see it like that. It's so small, and it's over $3 for that piece of garbage. Just go buy the chicken patties at the supermarket and make it yourself. Get some Martin's potato rolls, some Hellman's, dice up some lettuce, some pickles, tomato if you want to throw it on there. Have yourself a gay old time. You don't need to go there anymore. Anyway, back to the McDLT. The styrofoam, fantastic. The McDLT was too clumsy. They put it on your tray, but if you had to carry it, it was like if you had the cold side in your hand, the hot side is too heavy. So then the thing would hang or even snap. Because it was the weight proportions were off.
Right.
All right, let's look at the McDLT.
McDonald's
here.
new McDLT. It could be the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever. You get a hot side hot. You get a cool side cool.
Cold.
New McD, LT. And the hot stays and the cool stays. New McD, LT.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
New McD, LT.
Yeah, they don't even have a good jingle anymore.
You know what I like about the old McDLTs is that there was no distinctive stopping the heat from traveling to the other side.
Yeah.
So you still got the steamed vegetables on the other side.
You had condensation on both sides. One was from the heat of the burger. The other was from the water that they used to clean
the lettuce
and the tomato and everything. So you open up and there's just water dripping out of the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no point to this. People love to refer to this if you grew up at that time when we're around this thing. There was no reason to separate this. How, if you bought it there and was taking it home, maybe, today with how McDonald's has delivery through, I think, Uber Eats or one of the two. if this is how they gave you your food now, that kind of makes sense because then it keeps your burger from getting too cold or mushy or whatever. Back then, you were going from the counter to the table. Or if you to the bag in your car, you're going from the drive-thru to the parking lot. Like, how far were you going and waiting to eat this burger that you needed a separated system to keep your burger in check?
In the 80s, it was such a prevalent issue that they had to develop some kind of new styrofoam technology to prevent us from having soggy buns and all that. Yeah. I don't remember it being very good either.
You don't?
The McDLT? No.
McDLT was just it's what they do now. They have a quarter pounder deluxe. The quarter pounder deluxe is the quarter pounder with lettuce, tomato, pickle, and onion on it. And I think mayonnaise on there too. That's exactly the McDLT. It's the same thing.
Just rebranded.
Rebranded. I want to see if I can find an old McDonald's McChicken.
McDonald's new country.
Yeah, here it is. Let's see if this has the container in the commercial here.
McDonald's new country style McChicken sandwich.
Come and get it.
Now get that all-white breasted chicken. Cooked up country style. Juicy on the inside, crispy coating on the out, and lettuce and mayo.
That's what country style's about. Come and get it. All
Yep,
white
see this?
breasted chicken.
I don't know this jingle. That's stupid.
No, I don't remember this either.
No, but they all had the styrofoam containers. That lady had it on the table there.
Great taste of McDonald's new McChicken.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I think it was this lady here. Yeah, see, there's the styrofoam right there.
Uh-huh.
Now they're not using it as a selling point because I think by the end, this is 1989, so I think by then, in a year or two, all the all the styrofoam stuff went away. But man,
The golden age.
but you saw how big it was.
Yeah, it was huge.
They did not have. It's not that way anymore. The cheeseburgers. Neighbor has kids. He gets the Happy Meals. I saw the cheeseburger one time because I guess one of the kid doesn't eat pickles, so sometimes they put it. He has to open it up to make sure they didn't put pickles on it. The thing is like that big. It's so fucking tiny now.
I just sent you a picture in our Discord chat, you and me.
Yeah.
So if you can bring that up, check that that picture out. Is what McDonald's used to be.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the browser over here to do that. Give me a second. This is it's a whole layout of
It's a whole layout.
different styrofoam McDonald's stuff. Look at
It's what
that.
we used to have. Look at that. You had the
Yeah.
big breakfast. You had the old breakfast bacon and eggs and pancakes.
See, look, the chicken nuggets. They had see the cutout to put your sauce cup in there.
Yeah, you could see the little corner piece. Like that's like why couldn't you do that for like why can't you even do like a little way you can do a cutout and stick your sauce little thing in there?
They had it for breakfast. I never really got breakfast ever at McDonald's, so
I
didn't know
used
they,
to like it.
I didn't know they had it for here. And they had a scrambled eggs container. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had a breakfast container. They had the Egg McMuffin containers. The filet of fish was gross.
All right,
Still
see,
is.
this is different. The McChicken that they have here is. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Oops, I'm messing up my screen here. Damn it. Hold on. There we go. Go to this screen. Yeah, all right over here. This was. No, I don't think the light's fucking with it, but this used to be this color yellow.
Mhm.
Like here for that with the
Well, they
blue,
probably updated.
with the blue writing. So this is a white container with the blue writing. But God, I
Bacon
miss
double. Yeah. You remember you hear that squeaky noise when you're opening it up?
Yeah.
You're all excited as a kid.
this. You know, just you were killing all kinds of animals.
Whole marshlands completely decimated
And
by
the
the
thrill it
McDonald's
was for
styrofoams.
having that. Our pal Heather's in the chat. Heather's saying Roy Rogers won with the fixins on the side. Yeah, the fixin bar was great. It still is. On the rare occasions you can find a Roy Rogers, there's not many left of them. You find them at the rest areas on the Jersey Turnpike, and then I guess there's a handful of them scattered through Virginia. I stopped at one a couple years ago because I was driving. I'm like, holy shit, Roy Rogers, haven't seen him forever. Food sucked. It was not what I remembered. It had the food that I remembered, but it didn't taste good.
Right.
Like the double R bar was one of them and that was terrible. The roast beef was terrible. The chicken was terrible. I tried a little of everything. I was like, God, all of this is awful. It was not what I remembered.
It's all East Coast stuff, so I've never had the opportunity to try Roy Rogers. I've heard it talked about,
right?
But I've never had it myself.
Craig,
we're actually getting what are we getting over here? Zaxby's. We're getting a Zaxby's over in Arizona.
Oh wait, no,
which,
I haven't tried Zaxby's. What was the one? What's the chicken?
You had Raising Cane's.
What? Yeah, I hate Raising Cane's, and everyone says they love it. It's garbage. It's they have 4 items and they don't even do that right, and their sauce is meh. Their French fries suck. Their coleslaw suck. The Texas toast is terrible, and I like the Texas toast if it's done right, but Raising Cane's is just all hype and nothing. Craig Law saying it's like we can still do the styrofoam. The styrofoam is still with us. That is true.
we can still use the old styrofoam.
We just need to find it.
I'm sure there's a landfill somewhere in New Mexico that has it all.
Well, landfill, warehouse. You walk in and it's boxes just like at the end of Indiana Jones. There's just crates of them because they know it, unless they could shoot it into space, these things are never going to dissolve. So they're just stored in a bunker somewhere.
Just clean it off. Start insulating homes with it.
Lucy Moody saying, I like the big breakfast with pancakes, of course. I don't think I ever got pancakes and eggs as a breakfast at McDonald's. On rare occasions, like if you're at places and they bring you, I've had the Egg McMuffin.
Yeah.
Either the bacon egg McMuffin or the sausage McMuffin. I did not do the McGriddle. We had McGriddles up at the one morning for O&A when they just were coming out. And I remember Roland loving them. And if Roland loved it, I knew it was terrible. Because it's like there's syrup baked into the pancakey thing that you're eating.
It was a complete breakfast in a sandwich.
Never did the McDonald's breakfast.
I was never into the biscuits, like the biscuit sandwiches, because the biscuits were always too dry and flaky. So like you take one bite and then it all just disintegrates. I think the Chick-fil-A one is disintegrates.
All right, because you said disintegrates.
I had a bubble and I was just trying to move past it. But God, you're just so laser focused on everything I said.
I will hit you with a laser so you disintegrate. Go ahead.
God damn it, Goldfinger.
Yeah, Craig Law, the McGriddles are a bit too sweet for me. Yeah, it doesn't.
It can be.
I guess on paper it seems appetizing, but the execution just seems poorly thought out, and I have no interest in trying that. Blitz Mob in the chat. You remember Burger King had dinner baskets? No. I think I did. Remember that. I don't think I've ever eaten it because I am not a Burger King fan whatsoever. Let me see if we can find that because that'd be great.
I remember I used to like Wendy's. They used to have a salad bar. I used to like this Wendy's salad bar.
Wendy's had a salad bar. They had a salad bar and a potato bar. Because you could get the baked potato and then you go over there, and it was also with the chili too. So you could put cheese and bacon and chives and all that stuff in the chili or in the potato. That was a separate thing. And then they had, I guess, essentially their fixins bar. Yeah, I think I remember the BK dinner baskets.
I don't remember that.
This commercial from 1992 is titled Burger King's Dinner Baskets, Table Service, and Popcorn Commercial. I don't recall them ever having like any kind of service. And if you were waiting on your food, they would put the tray at the end of the register and then just yell out your name or whatever that you had to come and get your own food.
Yeah, they definitely do that now. I think some of the slower ones would always bring food out to you.
All right, let's take a look at this Burger King commercial here.
To help you paint the picture, you know what I'm saying? Burger King got these brand new dinner baskets.
I remember these commercials.
Not hoops, baskets. You know, if you come in between the hours of 4 to 8, you get like these dinner baskets. Get a chicken dinner basket, shrimp dinner basket, Whopper dinner basket, or steak dinner basket.
Shrimp dinner basket at a
Who got the Whopper dinner
Burger
basket?
King?
You get a choice of salad or coleslaw, baked potato or French fries. So you like having it like your way.
Yes, my way.
Whoa.
I love this place. I love it more than you do.
Burger King had a popcorn bar.
I didn't know that. I don't.
Must have completely spaced on it. I have never seen
I remember
that
the
before.
BK TV. I love this place. I remember that because they were trying to bite off of MTV Sports. And it was like Sports and House of Style used to shoot that way. But yeah, I was not aware of the dinner baskets thing. So let me see what it said again. So there was a chicken basket,
shrimp basket. I don't know if I trust eating shrimp at a burger.
Chicken basket had some kind of potato and a small side salad. Shrimp. Oh, they all had. All right. So the shrimp had a salad and a potato. You had the burger basket, which was fries, coleslaw, and your Whopper. And then I guess a steak sandwich with fries and coleslaw with it. And now table service where they would bring it out to your. You know who used to do that too? Not Pandora. What's the hell is the name of the place? There's the shitty bakery. Panera Bread.
Oh, yeah.
Panera Bread used to have it before the pandemic that you would place your order and they'd give you the little thing, the vibrate thing. And either you could go up there or if you sat down at a certain table, they knew what table you were at and they would bring it out to you. They don't do that anymore, but that used to be a thing. I can't believe Burger King did that. That sounds...
I'm really thrown off by the shrimp basket. Like that just sounds like something no fast food should
They just throw it into the same basket that had fries and chicken nuggets. They just threw the shrimp in there too. Why not?
Like if you're not Long John Silver's, you shouldn't be having shrimp baskets.
Heather's saying for Roy Rogers, when you would drive through their Roy Rogers drive-through, they package it in plastic separate for you. It was a winner. Okay, I was not aware of that. I don't think I ever did drive-through ever.
It was just a plastic bag full of ranch.
You just going in and grabbing handfuls of ranch. No, when the Roy Rogers was still like when growing up on Long Island, there was a couple near me when they were still around. Yeah, I never did a drive-through or remember them having a drive-through. Not denying it, but I don't think the ones by me ever did. Let's see what we have here. Kool-Aid saying I'm getting a Zaxby's in my town too. I've never had Zaxby's. I'm willing to try it, but I know Raising Cane's was a complete disappointment and utter garbage. So
yeah, they're starting to move a lot of different franchises our way from both the West Coast and the East. I mean, I know we're West Coast being in Arizona, but we just got Randy's Donuts. You know that in California, that iconic big donut, you know, all that stuff. We just got a Randy's here in Arizona. We're going to get, I think, a Bojangles. We're getting Bojangles out here, which I've never had it either.
Chicken place. That was more Midwest or down south. I don't know. There's none up here near me. I've never tried a Bojangles. I've heard it's good, but I've never had a chance to try it. Craig Law saying Carl's Jr.'s restaurants in California still bring your food to your table. We'll see how that goes now that the minimum wage has been raised.
I was gonna say, for what they charge for their food, they should bring it to my table.
100%, but they may not have people.
That's a good point.
Quick sidebar with the minimum wage thing. So I've been seeing news reports that I guess I don't know if it's the state of California or the city of Los Angeles. One of the two is looking to file legislation or some kind of legal action against restaurants who just started letting people go because the minimum wage went up. And it's something to try to force them that they have to have a certain number of servers that are human, I guess, in these places. Like I don't know if they can do that, but California needs to stay the fuck out of everybody's lives because
I think
some of the things they have are good. A lot of it is not. You read some of these laws and ordinances that are passed out there, and you go, how does anyone live there? I'd be going out of my mind if you had to follow every regulation that they fucking put out.
I don't understand how you can think that you can force a company to run their company the way they see fit. They're not breaking any laws. They're allowed to,
as far as production goes, they do that. No, so you're not dumping toxins into the air and polluting the environment.
Cases, yes.
But then saying like, well, we're going to determine how the look, food. You also have quality of food that has to be inspected. That's perfectly fine too. But we're going to take over and show you your presentation and your recipes, and we're going to determine how. It's like, do you work for this company? Are you part of HR or like the chef's kitchen staff at the high level that's coming up with the new products that we're putting out for our plate? No, stay the fuck out of the business.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you determine how many employees each business should run? You don't have that information. You shouldn't be able to say that kind of information. And as long as the company's not breaking any existing laws, that would be a ridiculous thing to try to pass.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Sounds dumb.
Yeah, they're trying to pass something or work something where the restaurants have to have a certain amount of human employees at registers or servers or whatever, because they're demanding that you have to have that now, because they're not liking the fact that, look, in the restaurant, not like higher end restaurants, but like mid-tier restaurants, even coffee shops, things like that, a lot of them let a lot of people go because they don't want to take on the added cost of the new minimum wage. Plus, we watched those reports about some places in California that were putting in the robot systems. Chipotle, that one local LA place, I forgot the name, I apologize. Yeah. They were showing how the whole thing was lifting baskets, it was doing the fries, it was putting, Chipotle was going through almost like a conveyor system, and it was just putting, here's the chicken, here's the rice, here's the avocado, here's the lettuce, whatever you customized your order to, it was going through this machine being put together, and then a person seals it with the metal lid at the end and sells it to you.
Look, I was pretty kind of against, robots and AI and all that stuff, but this past week has kind of almost turned me around on the idea of using some of these things to our benefit.
You're getting out of the fast food discussion now. I know where you're going with this. You're trying to move on. All right.
Segueing.
All right, but hold on. Did you know BK, remember when they tried tacos a few years ago? Yes, they've tried that in the 80s. They tried it in the 90s. They bring it back every 6 to 10 years. They try to do it again. They're not Jack in the Box. They can't get away with low-level $1 tacos that people will enjoy. Somehow Jack in the Box seems to be the only place that has a wide range of other food and can still serve inexpensive, greasy tacos, and people will buy it and like it. Other places have tried and failed.
Which is hilarious, because I think that's the only reason you really want me to come out to San Diego. You're like, I need your car and we need to go to Jack in the Box.
I told you flat out it was.
I can care less that you're coming. I just need your vehicle.
So in August, we're doing the show from San Diego, Jordan and I. And Jordan's going to come out there and meet me. And I told him, I said, look, we're going to do the show. And then you have a car, so you are going to take me to Jack in the Box, In and Out, and there was one other place.
We're just going to do a tour.
Yeah, we are. We're going to do a fast food world tour, and we're just going to go to the places that I can't get to on the East Coast. It's the requirement, other than having to do the show. You're not having to pay for it. Right. I'll throw in money for gas, but you need to be my Uber Eats.
You got it.
So that's what's going to happen. Fat Burger from Lucy Moody. No, I've never tried Fat Burger.
It's been so long since I've had Fat Burger. Like, I remember liking it, but it's been so long, I can't remember why.
There was one in Jersey City.
In most places, burger places are the same now. So
there was one in Jersey City years ago, and I never went to it, but I've always been told it wasn't good, so I never bothered to make the trek over there to try it out. Gabby's in the chat here, and she's saying World Tour in America. Yes, that's what it's called, the Fast Food World Tour. You're just like every other artist that does world tours. Yes, but I don't have, tragic incidents. I'm not out there getting hammered and throwing furniture off the top of rooftops. There's nothing preventing my world tour from happening other than Jordan showing up. And even if he doesn't show up, it's fine. I'll get AI as a co-host, and I'll just take an Uber over there and get all the stuff myself. Be there or not, Jordan. It's up to you.
That'll be the third mic now. We'll just hire AI.
Third Mike, Mike. That's going to be his name. Let's see, what do we have here? Craig Law, because Jack in the Box customers are stoners. 100%. Yeah, I know. But
they even have the late night box where, like, I think it's after 9 o'clock, they serve these boxes. Well, you can get them before now, but like it's cheaper.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, they're called munchie meals. So you can get like a chicken sandwich on a biscuit with jalapenos and melted cheese, or you can get a burger that has grilled cheese sandwich buns or something like that. It's all stoner food. They know what they're doing, and they know exactly what they're getting in bed with.
I know.
Especially with Snoop did his little brownies a little while ago.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Doing celebrity tie-ins or hip-hop artist tie-ins with McDonald's, they're the top.
I don't even know why they do them.
Top of the food chain, if you will. You don't need them for that kind of shit, but they still bring it in, and they just like, oh, well, here's all our branding and collaborations, glitz and glamour for the same shit food. They haven't increased the quality of their food or brought in new stuff that people liked. They haven't done that. No, they haven't. There's something going on right now where all fast food chains are heavily invested in specialty drinks this month.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a I'm trying to see if I thought I bookmarked it, maybe not, but we saw that Shake Shack has a bunch of different flavors. Wendy's has I forgot what they have. They have some different flavors. Burger King has they're promoting one specialty drink. It's a blue cotton candy drink. That just is it seems disgusting.
Well, McDonald's this summer are coming out with they're called McFloats. So they're doing like a Sprite / mango, Coke, strawberry, and then a Sprite. And everyone's trying to get in on things that, are trying to appeal to people. Trying to find what you said. Yeah. So they have new Frosties,
go ahead.
confetti cookie donut McFlurries.
Okay, here it is. So yeah, Burger King has frozen blue cotton candy cloud. It's called.
Ugh, sounds like pure sugar.
It's not Wendy's. I apologize. Sonic has some kind of mango bubble tea thing going on.
Oh, is that the orange cloudsicle?
Oh, is that what it is? It's orange. Not mango? Okay.
It's like vanilla soft serve, orange cloudsicle flavored slush topped with orange vanilla flavored boba.
Right.
Which seems to be everybody's bit right now, and then orange vanilla mixed in as well.
Yeah, it's called Orange Cloudsicle Slush Float. Shake Shack has 3 drinks. There's a peaches and cream, a chocolate salted caramel, and strawberry frosted donut milkshakes. Taco Bell.
The strawberry frosted?
Yes, frosted.
Oh, okay, cool.
Frosted. Taco Bell. I know. All right, so we're even.
Keep a tally.
1 for 1. Taco Bell Churro Chillers. Texas and Chicago are the only test markets for those. McDonald's has this Oreo frappe. So you get a coffee frappe with Oreo mixed into it and on top of it. That is just ugh. And then this one, I'm actually, besides the peach shake at Shake Shack, this one I'm interested in trying. Chick-fil-A has an assortment of cherry berry drinks. So there's a tea, a lemonade, there's Sunjoy, which I don't know what that exactly is, or you can get a frosted cherry berry. I'm looking to go try the tea. That sounds fantastic. And then Starbucks has some drinks too.
Yeah, they just came out with a few of them with like some boba in them.
Yeah, so there's the Summer Berry Refresher, Summer Berry Lemonade, Summer Skies Drink, and White Chocolate Macadamia Cream Cold Brew. Beverages seem to be the song of the summer as far as fast food goes.
Chock full of sugar and boba.
Yeah. Thanks for the diabetes fast food, says Craig Law. Yeah. No, they're not there to worry about your nutritional intake and your overall health. They're just trying to throw a bunch of shit together that might taste delicious and hopefully looks appealing so that they can make all that money to pay off the ridiculous minimum wage things, or else they lay people off. Now, I've had people say it's like, you shouldn't be shitting on the minimum wage thing. That's a good thing. It is when it is and it isn't. If it was balancing out inflation, it would be one thing. But it's not. Inflation went up, so they finally got this thing going, and inflation went up again. So look at the ratio. It's like, well, you're making $20 an hour. Yeah, but this thing's now $40. It was $25 when you were making $15. Now it's $40 that you're making $20. It's the ratio isn't there to make it worth the company's profit or the for you to work there. It's like, I'm making $20, $25 an hour. Yeah, but you still can't afford to live where you live. Everything sucks. What can you do?
Everything sucks.
All right, so AI, we can move over to that. So we were playing around with AI. Last week, we were trying to figure out, based on the discussion we were having about the protests. Mm-hmm. There was somebody in the chat had a show suggestion title.
It was Lucy Moody.
Was Lucy Moody for, hey, here's a cabbage, asshole. Meaning you're going to huck a cabbage into the protesters. And we thought that was hilarious. We needed to try to figure out how to make that the thumbnail, how to Photoshop that. And it was a bit difficult because these protests this time around are not quite like the protests of old, where you used to find footage or classic photos that were taken by like Time Magazine or the AP or something, where you'd see somebody hucking a Molotov cocktail into a building or throwing bricks at protesters, the good old days of protesting. Trying to find something like that where I could easy Photoshop it and just have the guy like hucking a flaming cabbage into a crowd of people. And alas, that was not the case. So it was suggested to us, it's like, well, why don't you try AI? Well, we've tried AI on a bunch of things, and a lot of the services out there that have apps or free or whatever are terrible because
you get pictures of people with like 75 teeth in their mouth. Everyone's laughing all big.
Their
you got
hands and their feet are wrong. Their torso would be this way, but their pelvis and their knees are bending the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a horrorscape. Like some of them,
it was like a nightmare because anything that had words in the background, you couldn't make it out. Like you can't read when you're sleeping, so like you can't read anything there. And then the faces all look like it was melting, almost like you were seeing The Conjuring or something. And it just was unfortunate. It's like, all right, the idea is there and the effort is there, but trying to make it happen just wasn't going to be a thing until somebody I know tipped me off about a more involved program that you have to pay for. And I bit the bullet and paid for the service and was not disappointed. So last week's episode's thumbnail is this. It's a guy about to slam a cabbage into another guy's face who's screaming.
So funny.
Right? This is all AI generated.
Sent that to me.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. Here's a cabbage, asshole.
The only thing I had to do was add in the flags in the back so that you knew that in the context it was one of those kind of protests.
Right.
But yeah, AI generated everything else. So
that's just insane.
It is.
And you
insane.
showed me mock-ups like that service pumped out 5-6 different versions of it, and you're just like, oh god, this is crazy. And you were showing me some of them, and some of them kind of worked, some of them didn't work, and then you end up with someone shoving a cabbage in their face. It was wonderful.
So I'm trying to figure out more stuff to do with the AI work now. I can feed in different things. I can add other images if I want to. The more you give it, the more it learns what you're looking for and what you're doing. You can keep refreshing it, and it gives you variations and all of this stuff. And eventually you get somewhere where it's passable, and you go, all right, that's enough. I can use that.
Yeah, my biggest hurdle when I was ever trying to use AI to kind of help benefit anything was knowing how to prompt it to find the things to what I want, to my specifications. I have to be a little bit more with the input. You can't just put like, I just want this, this, and this, like 3 little things, because you're just going to get weird stuff.
Right.
You have to be pretty specific. You have to learn how it's understanding what you're giving it, and you're good.
Yeah. So that fell into our lap. I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I like this. Then something came up, and I don't remember why this came up, but it was something to do with audio.
You and I were talking about my other show and our theme song.
The I Didn't Watch It podcast. Yeah.
Yes, I Didn't Watch It podcast. And you and I were talking about that, and we talked about audio.
Right.
And we were talking about, how we came about, what we did. So we went to a certain program's Discord. They had stopped putting it on Discord, so we were like, okay, what the heck's going on? We found the website that they're housing it on, and they have updated it significantly.
Right. What?
We just have I'll look at it later podcast. No, hold on. There we go. No, stop. It's Aaron from the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
Don't stop? Okay. We have plenty of others.
Yeah, you can't tell him that.
In fact, there's a couple. I went through your archive there, Aaron, and I saw that you were purposely posing for a few of them. Don't think I didn't screen cap some of those.
I know.
Screen record those. We'll see them in future broadcasts. I know what you're doing.
Brother's watching.
And it's when you're not paying attention is when I strike. And then you're the face of that podcast, Aaron. It's not this dummy over here. It's you. You're the face of that podcast. You're the branding. Moving on. So anyway, so you had some theme song for your podcast. I said, "Oh, that's really good. Where did you get that made?" And you were telling me about this stuff.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah." So I started looking around, and some of the things I saw online, because we couldn't use your thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is whatever. Maybe I know the technology's there. Maybe it's not about. Well, not about. Maybe it's just not at the level it needs to be yet, right? So I start asking friends in different parts of the industry. Some that work with professional musicians, recording, mastering, all of that stuff. People who work in advertising, all different facets, and pieced some things together and got to a program with the help of another program. So it's like 2 programs where we could generate music. And it's not just the music, it'll perform the song. So if you can either feed the lyrics that you write into it, and it'll generate a song based on the lyrics you write, especially if you write the structure, verse 1, chorus, bridge, all of that in there. It will build the song based on your specs. Or you can go, it's like, I need a song about this. Should include the following things, this, and this. And it should be fast-paced pop song with a female vocal. Like, if the more details you give it,
Right.
it will then generate the lyrics itself and write the song for you. So that's another great feature. But the ones that I like to write the lyrics myself, if I can, because I think it comes out funnier or
Yeah, because when you give it prompts, sometimes it works.
right.
Other times the lyrics are just trying to find something that rhymes with something else.
Right.
And the pace might be slightly off. It's like 1 in every 6 comes out the way you think you want it. But yes, if you had more to put in and to do so, I mean, this was going on, I think, when we were doing this Monday night. Eric's like, hey, get on real quick. I'm going to show you the picture. We were talking about AI. And I was going to try to get to bed early. And then 4 hours later, we're up laughing our asses off, coming up with just the craziest AI generated music. And it was well worth my time. I've been tired all week, but well worth it.
I wanted to make something for this show, and I just didn't want to just throw it out there because, I had to pay for the service. So I was like, I don't want to waste it with garbage. Let me see what I can come up with. Stuff for the show. I haven't figured out the angle we're going to go with yet, so I didn't want to just leave it to them generating nonsense and go, I just spent all this money to generate nonsense that doesn't work. So I was like, what do I need? What do I have here? So I'm looking around on my desk stuff here. So like the equipment's over here. Show stuff's here, video editing's over here, other show and other client stuff is over here. Like this console goes in a big L shape. So I'm looking through some of my notes, stuff I have to work on, and I see that I have stuff that I need to get done for Chad's show down in the DC area. And I was like, all right, I know I got to do a few of these things here. I'm like, what can I do for his show that I can play around and waste time with? And he has a producer on his show named Jim Jester. And Jim is... he's a happy-go-lucky sad sack, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
He's a big galoot. He's a giant of a man. But he seems...
You know who he reminds me of? Remember
Eeyore?
Strong Bad emails?
Yeah.
He's strong sad.
He is strong sad. But he doesn't have the feminine voice. If he was strong mad, the growling with strong sad's cadence and demeanor and appearance, yeah, that could be Jim Jester. So I was like, all right, I can write some stuff about Jim, and I'm going through the notes and I'm trying to remember stuff off the show. So I wrote lyrics and I put stuff together. And let me see if I can bring 1 or 2 of these up here. I'm skipping it.
Jim's family doesn't recognize his existence. Jim was a bully in high school, and this life is his comeuppance. And this life is his comeuppance. Jim gets the love as his life is his comeuppance. Jim Jester doesn't like his
Fantastic.
It's super interesting to know, like, just to see what this thing can do. And like I said, I've been messing around with it, just putting in generalized things. Like I'll put, like for our show, I'll put like, hey, I want a ska punk version of a song about three guys doing a podcast. This is the name of it. You put in some prompts, and sometimes it gets it right. It'll do something that kind of feels like it could be on the right path. And then other times it's just garbled mess. And, it's just, like I said, throwing random things in there.
Yeah.
Like at some point I was just saying, it's about a podcast that reviews movies. Every time the lyrics came up, it's like, three guys in a basement. I'm like, well, okay, we're not fucking weirdos. Like, it's a podcast.
The more you can feed it
it's weird
for the specs, the better it'll come out, or the more
Right.
you'll understand what you're doing. You're talking about the pop punk stuff. I tried writing the song differently with different lyrics and tried doing it in a way like Goldfinger would do. It's close. It's not quite Goldfinger, but listen to this version.
Equipment bewilders Jim. He's clueless and lost. Reading and speaking coherence comes at a high cost. His family unaware. He's become an invisible ghost. A high school bully now facing the karma that exhausts.
Of course.
Jim Chester can't stand the chat to show. Jim Chester can't stand the chat to show. Jim Chester can't stand the chat to show. Hey there, boy, let the shouts now flow.
See?
Yeah. It's super
fucking
interesting.
Fantastic.
And this is like the third version of this program, because like I found it and was using it and it didn't sound even close to being like this. And now in version 3, I can't imagine how they're going to improve it. Like it's just going to be almost indistinguishable from real artists.
So what I want to do now, for anybody who's live in the chat room, or even, either us, kick an idea. If you have an idea, we're going to try to do it on the fly, because I've got this thing tweaked up enough that I think we can generate something relatively fast.
It is a fast program.
If
like,
you
it comes
have,
out quickly.
If you have an idea,
We're going to play Mad Libs.
Yeah, we're going to play Mad Libs. Give us a topic, give us some content, whatever, a style, and we'll see what it comes up with. Because this could be fun. This could be a new feature for the show where we just were generating songs. Because if we're talking about, oh, fuck, Rob.
God damn it,
Nailed
Rob.
it. Nailed it, my friend. Hollywood agent Rob Stark. Utah.
Rob did like my protest song, though. That was good.
Okay.
I'm gonna fix that one later.
Okay. A song titled Utah Stole My Hockey Team.
Okay, what genre are we going to work with?
Let's see.
Because I've used like 80s, 90s hip hop.
Actually,
I've done
not
the
song
ska
title.
punk.
Song chorus. Utah Stole My Hockey Team.
It does sound like Craig Law is right. It sounds like a country song title.
How the Arizona Coyotes. Wait, how do you spell coyotes? C-Y?
C-O-Y.
C-O-Y.
C-O-Y-O-T-E-S.
Are moving to Utah. Jordan.
Now, Craig says it sounds like a country song. Lucy Moody sang like an Iron Maiden style metal song. Rob says Oasis in the style of Oasis, like very acoustic guitarish.
Okay.
And then we'll play Wonderwall
like
right after,
like coffee house rock.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I structured Rob's protest bagel song. Was I put acoustic folk guitar.
You can pop up chats and stuff and hang.
Yeah,
out
I'm
with them
going
while
to.
I'm doing this. It's gonna take a second.
So Lucy Moody's like, it's gonna sound like Hootie. Yeah, I mean that's probably close.
Stole my team. Yes, they stole my team.
Rob's like, I mean, I guess it has to be My Chemical Romance. Said, no, Rob, if you were any friend of mine, you would know it needs to be in the style of Coheed and Cambria. Very progressive rock, big epic.
Hey.
Sad,
On this show, we're all Coheed. Fuck Cambria.
No Cambria. AZ459 is in the chat. Hi, AZ. You could go the techno country pop route a la redneck Cotton Eye Joe style. All
right, we can change.
It could be funny.
I'm going to save the description.
Yes, because you can
regenerate
generate different styles.
Okay, it's generating. So we're going to play these on the fly. We're not going to know. I mean, they could be good.
It'll pop in the lyrics too, but I like listening to it to see what pops out before knowing.
Okay. It's
This is how quick this is. It
it's
should be here soon.
processing, so we got to wait. Oh, they're done.
I'm telling you, this is a fast thing. It's kind of scary. Uh-oh.
Okay, it labeled its City on Ice.
It's so sad.
All right.
I'm going to be bummed out, aren't
see.
I?
Let's see. Can you hear this? Can you hear
Yes.
that? Okay, that's
Yes.
not the song. That's something else.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh no, you made me a Taylor Swift song.
No, that was some other production I was making. Okay, here we go. Here's the first cut.
It's a little low.
Cactus and sunsets, where the desert wind blows through. Arizona had a hot team, but then they bit them like a Jew. Coyotes roamed in the valley with their skates and stick hand, but now they're gone, just a memory in this game of shifting sand. Utah,
This is a game of shifting sand.
God team left me with an empty dream. In Salt Lake City and Rome, but my heart remains in Arizona, my home.
Okay.
God, that kills me. Yeah, it's a little low. We're gonna want to turn it up for the second song. Now, with this program,
I
what
did
it does
turn
is
it up. It still was low?
It was still a little low.
Okay.
What it does is it kicks out two songs,
Hold on.
both the same lyrics. So we're gonna hear the same lyrics, but the song might be slightly altered. I always found like the second song is usually the
All right.
better.
It did skip. It blurred some of the lyrics because it gives you a lyric printout too, since it's generating its stuff. So it says, in the land of cactus and sunsets, where the desert winds blows through, Arizona had a hockey team, but then they bid them adieu.
God damn it!
The coyotes roamed in the valley where their skates and with their skates and sticks in hand, but now they're gone, just a memory in this game of shifting sand. So the chorus goes, Utah
fucking beautiful.
stole my hockey team, left me with an empty dream. In Salt Lake City, they now roam, but my heart remains in Arizona, my home.
It's just beautiful, and I hate every second of this.
Let's see what the second one is here. Okay.
Let's do it.
You land of cactus and sunsets,
Same lyrics,
where the
okay.
desert
Yeah.
wind blows through. Arizona had a hockey team, but then they bid them adieu.
God damn it!
The coyotes roamed in the
This is not
valley
coffee
with their
acoustic.
skates and
No.
sticks in hand, but now they're gone, just a memory.
This is Michelle
in
Branch.
this game
Or
of
Jewel, yeah.
shifting sand. Utah stole my hockey team, left me with an empty dream. In Salt Lake City, they now roam, but my heart remains in Arizona, my home. A home.
All right. We didn't write enough in there, so it didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't
Sometimes it
generate-
just kind of cuts off. Doesn't know how
And
to
it just
finish
does
the
instrumental
song.
stuff. Yeah. So.
God, that's kind of perfect and terrible at the same
Okay,
time.
let's change the style.
Yeah, the style will make a big difference.
Okay.
And this is what kept us up for 4 hours.
All night. I didn't go to bed
were
till
ha-
8 in the morning.
Yeah, I didn't go to bed
I
till
was
about
generating
2,
dumb
2:30.
Jim Jester songs. But those took a while because I had to write the lyrics
Yeah.
and teach it how to do
Yeah, a little
certain
bit, little
things.
bit more production. On
Okay. What should we change the style to?
those. Let's see. Do 90s hip hop.
Like New Jack Swing?
Yeah, something like that. Because you can even distinguish between West Coast hip hop and East Coast hip hop, and it's a whole different sound. It's kind of fun. I even did things like I need New York style hip hop, so then it'll be like, New York representing, and then they'll do I'm like, this is weird, man. Like, this is really weird.
AZ in the chat there saying that second version could totally play on Hits 1. Yeah, that could. Okay. Rob saying Boys to Men. It can't recognize artist and band style.
You
but
have
it
to
can recognize the genre and I hate that term, vibes, but it generates that kind of stuff. If you give it enough information of what a certain artist's music style is, it can do all of that.
Yeah, you can put in things like sexy R&B from the 90s, and it'll kick out like SWV.
Okay, I'm generating some new stuff. It's in the New Jack Swing hip hop.
Ooh.
And if you don't know what New Jack Swing is, if you remember like the group Tony, it feels good. Early Bobby Brown after he left New Edition, that kind of stuff where it was like upbeat, kind of positive. Heavy D and the Boys, that was a bit New Jack Swing for some of his early stuff here. And we have some songs. Okay. Here we go.
Arizona was my home, where the coyotes roam. Back in the arena, cheering out to the bone.
This is Tony.
One day they up there.
New Edition.
Ain't that crime? Now I'm feeling lost. Gotta find a new Salt Lake City, Utah. You took what was mine, took my hockey team, left my heart in a bind. I'm feeling betrayed.
That's the other thing. If you don't give it lyrics, when you regenerate even the same prompts, the lyrics could be different. So
Yeah,
this
you
is
can
an
also talk
entirely
over
new
the
song.
as it's playing.
That's all right.
All right.
We'll hear it again with the second version.
Utah stole my hockey team. They took them away, left a void in my soul. Coyotes stand ahead, and I won't give up the fight. But Utah, you broke my heart. You just ain't right.
It's just, I want to be mad, but these are great.
Yeah. All right, let's hear the other one here.
Arizona was my home, where the coyotes roam. Back in the arena, cheering loud to the bone. But one day they up and left, ain't that a crime? Now I'm feeling lost, gotta find a new rhyme. Salt Lake City, Utah, you took what was mine, took my hockey team.
I don't think I've ever heard like a rap song ever mention Utah ever in their lyrics.
Understand how you just snatch 'em up like it's in your plan. Utah stole my hockey team. They took 'em away. Left a void in my soul. Can't you hear what I say? I'm a Coyotes fan and I won't give up the fight. But Utah, you broke my heart. You just ain't right.
Judgment Night! Judgment
I
Night!
know. Now,
Yeah.
I like the first one better.
That's as
Still
bad as
stings a
that
little
Jesse
bit.
James song, Go New York Go, about the New York
Right.
Knicks that he's been milking
Oh,
since
God,
the
I
90s.
remember that.
Yeah. Go
Now,
ahead.
there are two suggestions in the chat that I'm kind of want to hear. One of them, it's true.
Lucy Moody's saying nobody's ever made a rap song about hockey. This is the first one.
I think maybe in the 90s when Fox was heavily promoting hockey, there may have been a rap song about hockey. We don't know.
Rob Stark saying Q Jordan holding a boombox wearing a trench coat blasting one of these songs.
I'm just a modern day Lloyd Dobler.
Okay.
I want to hear Gabby's mariachi suggestion. That might be fun. I'm down for mariachi. I think that's just a...
Okay, we got two mariachi songs here.
God, I hate
Ready?
that it's so quick.
All right, here we go.
Well, maybe you can prompt it to say, put the lyrics in Spanish.
Where the coyotes roam, we played the game.
This doesn't sound like
In
mariachi.
Arizona
I'm gonna skip ahead.
home,
Hold on, yeah.
But now they're
Oh, it's still
gone.
generating. I can't skim
Left
through it.
us in the dust. Salt Lake City stole our
Maybe it'll pick up.
trust. Jordan's upset. He's got tears in his
What the
eyes.
hell is that?
No
Not
more
mariachi.
under
That's not
the
mariachi at all.
Arizona skies. The coyotes left, took away our pride.
Okay, no, that's not.
No, that's not. I need.
In the desert sun, where the coyotes roam. We
This sounds like almost
Is
like
it not
Spanish guitar
recognized
style.
mariachi?
Maybe not. We found the flaw in the system.
Arizona home.
Gabby's saying maybe it's maybe it understood Mary Achi.
No, I need trumpets. I need
I
standing
need
bass.
maracas. I need very fast guitar rhythms.
Yeah, Mexican folk music might be one you can put in that might help.
Oh, let's see. Okay, let's see. Take out mariachi. Let's do Mexican folk music.
Yeah, I need some tuba in there.
Is there tuba in Mexican music? I know there's trumpet.
Oh, there's tuba. You are racist.
No, I just the cucaracha. That one works too.
Eric's Spanish music repertoire comes from a lot of picking up Mexican food at night.
And Looney Tunes commercials.
And Looney Tunes commercials.
Yeah. Okay. This says it's Mexican folk. Let's see.
In the land of the desert where the cacti grow,
Much better.
there was a hockey team with a fiery glow. The Arizona Coyotes.
I love how they think they have an accent.
But they vanish like a mirage without a trace. Jordan was a fan with a heart so true. He'd cheer and he'd chant his old Coyotes blue.
It's very
But
slow.
his dreams were shattered in the blink of an eye when they packed up their gear and waved goodbye. You tossed
Put in some trumpet in the
my
background.
hockey team. Oh, can't you see they took away my passion, my Coyotes loyalty. But I'll keep the flame
Song speaks to my people.
alive,
Right.
deep inside
Hockey people,
my
not Mexican
chest.
people.
Arizona may be wounded, but our spirit won't rest.
Okay.
This is wonderful.
Let's see what the other one is.
I'm going to need copies of all these.
Where the cacti grow, there was a hockey team with a fiery glow. The Arizona
can't be mad at this.
Coyotes, fearless on the ice, but they vanish like a mirage.
Need some ay-ay-ay's in the back.
Remember when we were just making Disney music, apparently?
He cheered and he chanted his old Coyotes blue, but his dreams were shattered in the blink of an eye when they packed up their gear and waved goodbye. Utah stole my hockey team, oh can't you see? They took away my passion, my Coyotes loyalty. But I'll keep the flame alive.
All right, so we get it. Let's do something else before we go to break here because we really need to get to break. Is there something else we can do? Oh, wait, hold on a second.
I mean, polka would probably give us what we want, unfortunately.
All right, we'll end it with polka then. Can't go wrong with a good polka song. It's just no matter how terrible the lyrics are, the music's too fun.
It's crazy because I just read something. John Candy's been away from us, from this world, 30 years. And all I keep thinking of him, he's the part of the Kenosha Kickers. And I'm just like, polka music is kind of fun. I'm not into it, but when it comes on, I'm not going to turn it off. It's kind of fun. It's like, so good.
Okay, here we go.
Go bad. There we go. I'm already into it.
The desert sun. Fans in Arizona, we were second to none. Then the news hit like a punch to the gut. A real team was leaving, no ifs or buts. Salt Lake City, Utah, the new hockey town. But it feels like a betrayal. We're feeling down. We cheered them on night after night, but now they're gone, out of our sight. Utah stole my hockey team. Oh, can't you see? Our hearts are broken, filled with misery. No.
Okay, that's more of an oompa song.
It's more like a that's more polka. So that's definitely better. I got to generate more polka now that I think about it. That's more fun.
I'm going to do one more round of this, and then we really need to get a break.
We got a lot of segment 2.
Yeah, I'm putting some specs. Hopefully it's going to increase the tempo and the feel of this, and then we can go to break. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Do it.
Coyotes were howling, team filled with might. In Arizona's desert, they brought us to light with passion and skill. They won over our hearts, but now they're gone. Grit ripped our dreams apart. Salt Lake City, a place far away, took our beloved team without any delay. Utah's got the ice now, our spirits have been crushed. No more hockey in the desert, our hopes are hushed. Utah stole my hockey team, oh what a shame. No more puck slapping, no more play.
I feel like that should be the show title. Utah stole my hockey.
Silence, a boy we can't hide. Utah stole my hockey team. It's a tear-filled ride.
I feel like this app does have some weird issues with tempo, like figuring out where lyrics should go.
It
and
doesn't
other things
if you write them out.
Yeah. But it also has an issue where sometimes it knows how to pronounce a word and sometimes it doesn't.
All right, let's
so it's weird.
Let's do the last polka song here and see how it goes.
High up Fort Holland, our team filled with might. In Arizona's desert, they brought us delight. With passion and skill, they won over our hearts. But now they're gone, ripped our dreams apart. Salt Lake City, a place far away, took our beloved team without any delay. Utah's got the ice now, our spirits have been crushed. No more hockey in the desert, our hopes are hushed. Utah stole my hockey team, oh what a shame. No more puck slapping, no more players to acclaim. The cheers have turned to silence, a void we can't hide. Utah stole my hockey
This is pretty good.
team, they talk tear-filled ride.
Rob's saying
That's
in
the
the
winner.
chat here, let's open some shows with this, and I agree. We'll make sure that gets put into the system to play.
Utah stole my hockey team.
Right.
This summer's hottest track.
So we'll have some fun with this. So maybe every week we can take suggestions or whatever we happen to be talking about. If something comes out of that and goes, we need to make a song out of this thing. Let's open up the software and see what we can generate.
I think it'd be fun.
I think it would be very fun.
A little lighthearted, a little staying away from disasters and sad songs. Let's have some fun. That's what
Have
we're here
some
for.
fun indeed. All right, we need to take a break. We will be right back.
More, it's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next.
Jordan, we've been telling you nonstop that Mother's Day was coming up, and it's here. It's this weekend.
Oh.
Even I forgot, and I'm doing these ads and pushing this thing, and I realized, like, holy crap, Mother's Day is this weekend. I thought it was the following weekend. I didn't realize it was earlier this month, and I was like, I don't have anything. I did not take my own advice, but then I did, and I gave a call to my pal, Steven Singer, and he said, who is this? And then he put me on hold.
How did you get this number?
So I called back again, and I spoke to one of the lovely ladies that works in his showroom and told them what I failed to do, and they laughed, and they said, well, that's what we're here for. That's how we make our ends. So lo and behold, Mother's Day is this weekend. You're out of time. Maybe. Unless you get it FedExed overnight, or if you're in the city of Philadelphia, you can go right down to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Go to I Hate Steven Singer. It's called Steven Singer Jewelers. Imagine asking Uber or Waze app, put in I Hate Steven Singer, and then it just comes back, we all do, and gives you no mapping or route details to get there. It's on the other corner of 8th and Walnut, and he's got his brand new Mother's Day gold-dipped rose, the red wine. Look at that. Put that in your mouth, and we can do some mariachi and flamenco dancing to celebrate your team hightailing it to Utah.
Yes, they did.
So we need to have a toast for all the moms out there who work super hard and get nothing but, well, no, they get some love from us, but a lot of aggravation and disgust from their children. It's time to do something nice. Get Steven's brand new gold-dipped red wine. This deep, rich burgundy color will go perfectly with the glass of wine that she's constantly drinking, and you don't understand that mom has a problem. Steven's famous 24-karat gold-dipped roses are real roses preserved and dipped in pure 24-karat gold, guaranteed to last a lifetime. It makes the Mother's Day extra special, or fulfills your obligation if you forgot, like I did this week, to go and buy one, and then guess what? Problem solved. It's all there. It's packed up. It's taken care of for you. You also get, skip down from there, you get the free personalized gift message from you, free lifetime guarantee. Fantastic. And it's just $69 for the red wine. He has other colors, too, if you don't want to do the red. There's so much other stuff doing on you can get on there. But the red wine is what we're pushing here, and it's fantastic looking. Jordan, put it up into the camera again so everybody can see it for the umpteenth time. Check out Steven's entire collection of gold dip roses at IHateStevenSinger.com. Free shipping, like we said. Maybe not this weekend. You probably have to pay for overnight because we're so close to that.
This is just going to be a beautiful apology for you forgetting your mother this weekend.
If you did not remember for your wife, your mother, baby mama, whatever your relationship is, look, you got to fork out some of the money for the shipping. That's on you. That's the penalty for waiting so long. It's not Steven's fault. He's been telling you forever that this is available, and it's the quick fix for Mother's Day, plus the $69 for the rose, which is a bargain for all of that stuff. Again, free personalized message, free lifetime guarantee, only at Steven Singer Jewelers. If you're in Philadelphia on the other corner of 8th and Walnut, go over there now. You only have a couple days left. Or if you can work some magic, IHateStevenSinger.com, and tell them you heard about it from your friends at It's Eric Nagel.
It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com.
Hey, it's Bert Kreischer, and you're listening to It's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show, Eric Jordan here with you, talking about television, movies, streaming updates, going through all of that stuff so that you can figure out what the hell's going on. What am I going to watch this weekend when I'm ignoring my mother for Mother's Day? I need some content to watch. We're going to go through all of that and tell you what's happening this weekend and what you should be paying attention to. As always, we start off, Jordan, what have you been watching this week?
This past weekend, I took the kids on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, and I went and saw Star Wars Episode 1 back in the theaters. It's still just as boring as I remember it, but the kids had a great time. I mean, it was never been my favorite episode. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's a lot of just boring in it. A lot of stuff that they cut out in future episodes because he realized he wrote terrible stuff. But it was fun to be able to share that with my kids.
Just to make toys at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, but it was nice to have that experience with the kids and, have them enjoy something. I'm still watching X-Men 97. Episode 9 just came out yesterday, Wednesday. We have one more episode left of this season. There will be a second season. They have ramped it up. They are not making this for kids. Like this is still in the same vein as the original run back in the 90s,
right?
But this is it's if they said, hey, everyone that loved it in the 90s is now 30 and 40 years old. We're gonna make it for these people and put it on Disney. Disney's like, sure, let's do it. And then we've got blood, people dying. Like there's just it's super good,
critically acclaimed and audience acclaimed.
Yeah,
nobody has said anything bad about this.
Not one thing I've ever heard anything bad about it. So I've been watching that. Episode 9 just came out.
I am at the end of, or towards the end of season 4.
Yep, and there's 5 seasons of
the original. So I'll go through the 5th season. Right now, I noticed on this episode 1, they changed the style of the music. And 2, it's a Christmas episode, and it's terrible. So I'm going to plow through that Christmas episode and go through season 5 and then catch up to where you're at and plow through that too. So by next week, I should be all in the same boat with you to watch the final episode.
It's going to be good. You and I both watched Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld Pop-Tart mockumentary. I don't know. It's not a mockumentary.
It's not a mockumentary. It's not a documentary either. It's a telling of a skewed history of the creation of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
And
I had my issues with it. You and I both kind of talked about it last night, where there are things that are really funny about this show. Like, I was really laughing. There's it's weird because they have every comedian that you've ever known is in this movie. Every actor you've ever seen in the sphere of Jerry Seinfeld is kind of popped in here. They do things like
no
Bill Burr
Seinfeld stuff though.
Yeah, it was weird.
None of the Seinfeld people.
But it's Seinfeld being Seinfeld. Like, it's weird.
There's none of the Curb people. Not that his immediate world is not in there.
Yeah, but tons of comedians. They had Amy Schumer as the main antagonist. Seinfeld's the main protagonist.
Jim
and
Gaffigan is the head of Kellogg's.
Yeah, he's the head of Kellogg's. You've got
our pal Thomas Lennon's in there playing a potential war crime.
So his character is a German inventor of the sea monkey, but also could have been in the Nazi party. You don't know, and he won't answer the question.
He won't tell. So
it's really, there are parts of it that are very funny. Your pal Bill Burr plays JFK, and his scenes are perfect. I don't know. I gotta look up. What?
Ask not.
I said ask not.
Can I have this pen? I said ask not.
Not. He's so mad.
It's very
the Doublemint twins are there.
Yeah.
And the guy, I got to look him up. The guy who played Walter Cronkite had me in stitches every time he was on screen.
Hilarious. Every time he cuts to break from his news report, he's playing with whatever the hot toy is of the time.
Silly putty, the little wheel on the
constantly
the
railing on his wife that thinks he's drinking too much.
Well, I make all the money. I'll drink. And he's not even like addressing the camera. He's just kind of muttering.
Yeah, he's like,
he's just muttering under his breath, and he's just playing with silly.
You want to continue living this lifestyle? Then I'll drink as much as I damn well please.
He's like, and this works really good when you get it on fresh ink. Anyway, I'll drink whatever I want because I make all the money. Like, it's just those parts were really funny.
Right.
It's silly. I mean, it's like you said last night. It's a good bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's perfectly
and
fine.
there are good parts.
Perfectly fine. It's a great bad movie.
Yeah.
It's very campy. It feels in the same vein as remember Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like they're doing that. You could sit down and you it's purposely a bad movie. But the production level is fantastic. The set design and everything else they do is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's very well put together. There's cameos from a certain ad agency television show, which were I was pumping my fist. I was like, yes, that's awesome that they're in there. Yeah. A lot of people were shitting on it, saying it was terrible. I get what they're looking for. They're thinking of modern day comedy in the sense of like, oh, it should be this, it should be that, it should be edgy. No, it's exactly what it should be for what they're doing. It's ridiculous. It's fun. That's the thing I don't think a lot of people are figuring out. It's a fun, bad movie. Now, I know Jerry and them were not trying to make it a bad movie, but that's the genre it fits in. It's a bad movie that's good. Like, you could sit there and watch it and enjoy it. Mars Attacks is a good, bad movie. It's a terrible movie, but it's fun to watch because of all the cameos and everything else going on in it.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, I'm telling you, give it a chance. Go and watch Unfrosted on Netflix. I think you'll be glad you did. You look back and you go, yeah, there was a lot of stupid stuff in that, but there were some things that were really funny. Overall, it's not a terrible movie. It's a good, bad movie.
Yeah. Sticking with Netflix, you and I both also watched The Roast of Tom Brady.
We did.
That was that debuted on Monday. Really funny.
Mm-hmm. And it shows how bad Comedy Central was ruining the whole the roast concept. Because not only were they censoring a lot of the stuff, they were putting celebrities on the dais that just were there to be a name.
They didn't.
So they could say all-star roast, and it's like all these people have no ties to.
Yeah, because I remember they had Ann Coulter doing part of the roast once for somebody, and I'm just sitting there going, "There's no reason for her to be here, other than they're ready to just go against her." For Tom Brady's roast, they brought in
football players.
Coach
they
Belichick brought in Belichick,
Roger Kraft,
Robert Kraft,
Robert Kraft. Is it Robert or Roger? Robert Kraft.
Robert.
Yeah. So he was there. Like, it made sense. The people that he had there. Then they had
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski there. He's a dummy. He seems like a nice enough guy, but he's adult. They brought the comics on there that don't have a relationship to Tom Brady, but they were needed to do the actual roast, and they were all good. Some better than others.
All of them killed it.
But it was all good. Everything was fine.
I think the only lowlight in the show was having Kim Kardashian involved. And only then was funny because the audience booed her so bad.
Right.
That eventually when Tom Brady got up, he pulled a joke out that I thought was funny. He goes, I'm glad she came. I'm glad she was here. I know she was nervous, not because she needed to be here, but because she left the kids with their dad. And I'm just like, oh, it's a Kanye joke. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. There were a lot of OJ jokes. There were a lot of Caitlyn Jenner trans jokes. There was a lot of jokes about what was that guy from the Patriots, Hernandez, who killed himself?
Aaron Hernandez.
Hernandez. There was Aaron Hernandez jokes. Overall, everything, it was exactly what it should be.
Yeah, it was great. And it was fun.
To have somebody of that stature being roasted on there, I don't think you would see a lot of people be willing to do that, no matter how much money is being thrown at them.
Yeah.
To be but he took all the blows and then went out there and he had his own stuff he was doing to fuck you to the NFL, fuck you to other teams. Peyton Manning showed up as a surprise to roast him a little bit. I think it was all well done. It was very well done and nice to see Netflix. I don't want to say allowing that, but letting it go. Well,
they did it live. So I think what they had to do is that they had almost no choice to let it go. Now they could have edited it for the replays.
They only edited one thing for the replay.
Which one was that?
They edited the booze out of Kim Kardashian.
Did they?
Yeah, you can look it up. There's a bunch of articles. They replaced the audio, like her mic audio is there, but the crowd audio they resampled and put other parts of it in there, so you're not hearing the heavy boos. She's just staring there looking at everything while the crowd's rowdy or something. But
yeah, they were booing her like crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very well put together. I had a great time watching it. Like, it was really funny. And then you and I both also watched John Mulaney Presents Everybody in LA.
Yes.
Everybody's in LA.
A show that I didn't know what it was supposed to be or if it was going to work, and it kind of does. It's very goofy. It's well produced. And it's live. Everything is live. So every time there's an issue or a stumble or something like that, it works into the show. The music acts playing live while they're doing everything, making the transition was there's no production problems on that end.
They randomly had Warren G on the Monday show. I'm like,
because they were tying it in for Long Beach because they also had Gabrielle, the comedian Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
He was there and they were, because the whole show's about John Mulaney shitting on Los Angeles about different parts of LA. And I guess each night had a different portion of LA that they were focusing on and different topics. One was helicopters. One was palm trees. They're taking live calls from people.
Yeah.
The show shouldn't work, but it does. And I'm glad it does because I'm actually enjoying it. If you would have seen anybody else doing this, and not meaning like John hosting it, but like if Comedy Central tried doing this, it would be so hokey and you'd be like, oh, this is
There'd be a lot of bits. Like there would just be nothing but skits and bits.
Yeah.
And
well, there are interstitial skits here because it's all live. And they're funny because there's no ending on some of them, or some of them are just meant to be terrible towards the people that they're doing the skit about.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts back to another interstitial, goes back to the studio. I think it's well done. It's 6 episodes. So I think Friday today is the last one. So you can go back in there and watch all of them. They're all an hour long and great panel of like real life people in a field and a celebrity at the same time. Like when they were talking,
I think like Monday's episode, they were talking about like trees and shade and trying to get LA more, shady, and do we plant palm trees? So they had someone who was actually in that science of, environmental science and stuff like that. But then they had Gabriel Iglesias,
and
a
Jon
comic
Stewart.
that I had no idea about. And then like Richard Kind is the announcer.
I love Richard Kind.
Yeah, he's great. And it's just like, okay, this works. Like this really works. And I'm hoping they kind of keep, like, it may not be John Mulaney doing it going forward, but if they can do it again and just do it something like every now and then,
they're going to see
that would be great.
their whole week of Netflix is a Joke, which is their big comedy festivals that they do out in LA. Every show was a success. They had Bill Burr at the Hollywood Bowl, I think, on Friday, and then John was hosting, had his show on Saturday there.
I know they did Seinfeld. Both sold out one night.
Seinfeld, I forgot where his was, but it was Seinfeld, Nate Bargatze, Sebastian Maniscalco, and somebody else. I can't remember who the fourth one is. I apologize. But at the beginning of the show, Jerry goes, now, I didn't want to plan anything out here, so we have a hat with some numbers, and we're going to draw numbers to see what order the show goes in, which I thought was great. And Sebastian drew number 1, so he had to open the show. He was the opener for the show.
It's crazy.
So all their remote shows that they did were a success. All their TV stuff was a success. The roast went everywhere. Not even just mainstream, all the sports stuff, international news, celebrity news. Like, it covered all it ran the gamut as far as media coverage goes. That was a huge success for them. And then the John Mulaney show is getting a lot of great attention because it also is paired with David Letterman's interview series that he just put out an episode interviewing John Mulaney about his substance abuse, his rehab, his growing up, his comedy, all of that stuff there. So they just put out a whole bunch of shit for a 2-week span.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this John Mulaney show is going to do fantastic for them, that they're going to bring this back. Maybe he does something around 4th of July or in the fall, something like that. This will be an occasional show where it's a week of live shows. Yeah. I wouldn't mind watching a talk show that's only on occasionally and you're seeing a week straight of them doing stuff.
That would be good. And he could do like different areas. Like, he can go to New York and do this. Be like, like New York City's a joke, or, everyone's in New York City. Like, he can do it not just in LA. And I think it could work where it's like a travel show, but you're right. Only do it every couple months.
A travel talk show. Kind of like what Conan's not doing the talk show thing. Conan's doing more of a travel comedy show. But yeah, if he does the travel talk show in different cities, like you said, I'll tell you exactly what it gave me the feeling of. Back in the day when, like, if Leno did a week of shows in New York, or if Letterman went out to LA and did a week of shows out there.
I was going to say, Conan did the same thing when he was doing his night. He'd do like shows from like New Orleans or LA.
No, I understand that, but that was after the other show. Like, Johnny didn't go anywhere. Johnny was in New York for the first 10 years, and then Johnny was in his studio in LA for the last 20 years. Letterman and Leno were the ones who switched coasts and went to different places. So when, like, Letterman did shows at college theaters, like, he would do like a whole week. Like, this week he was in Boston, and he would just have director's chairs. He didn't even have a set, and he would just do his show, his skits, have whoever the celebrities were in Boston. I know he did like Miami. He did different places. When a show like that was traveling somewhere at that time, because that was your entertainment, those were big deals. You're like, holy shit, Dave's in California. You're watching every day this week to see all the stops that they're pulling out because Dave's in California this week. It gave me that feeling of excitement, like, this is specialty stuff that you need to go and watch this. So if John does this from different locations at different times of the year, that captures that old feeling of wanting to, one, see a late night talk show with guests and skits and stuff like that. Two, that it's traveling to an area that it's not from. So it's going to be exciting what they do with the artists, with the celebrities, whatever else they're going to do, man on the street stuff. Yeah. I think he's got something here that if Netflix allows him to continue this, that they're just going to generate a ton of money by doing all that.
Yeah. Yep. No, I had a good time with that show. So
check.
Is there anything else that you were watching, or?
Yes. I went back and started buying movies again. Well, Vudu, the Vudu system, VUDU, is not Vudu anymore. Fandango, I guess, bought it out.
It's Fandango at home,
which is a terrible name because Fandango, if you think about Fandango, you just keep thinking like, oh yeah, that was like around the time that Ultraviolet was out for digital copies of movies.
Yeah.
You think of it as a who cares brand name or failed brand name. And then Fandango started to venture into, oh, you can buy movie tickets through us and everything. And then nobody was doing that because they were buying their tickets through the app for said theaters.
Right.
Because, well, I could do through Fandango, but why don't I just get the points for the theater that I'm going to so that I don't have to spend on concessions. I don't have to spend on, extra ticket stuff. I can get matinee prices because I'm a member. I can get free tickets because I saved up the points for AMC, for Cinemark, for Regal, for any of those things. Alamo Drafthouse. But yeah, somehow they're still around. They bought out the Vudu digital movie service, and my account with Fandango is now a hybrid of my old Fandango account, my old Watch It Now account, my old Ultraviolet account, and now my old Vudu account. It's all there together. But they have a system. I think it's legal. Yeah,
it
it's
is
legal. It's a system
Well,
where
the system is legal.
all right. We'll leave it at that. The system's legal. So if you own copies of the movies, instead of having to spend $5-10 to buy a digital copy, you can scan the UPC off your movie, and then you can buy it for like $2 or $5, depending on the format you get. So every now and then I forget that I have it, and I go back on there, and then I start buying like crazy till I max out my allotment for the week or the day or the month or whatever it is. And then I forget about it again for a while. Well, last night I remembered it. And I went in there and I was like, oh yeah, I have a whole list of stuff I wanted to buy. I bought, I think, 11 movies.
Nice.
And
geared toward the kid or geared toward yourself? Because I know you go on a run where you're just like, I'm going to get everything Disney or this or that for the kid. And
I do. I have those, but not so much lately because the Disney app for the kid has everything. So I don't need to worry about that. Plus, like when I'm going to be traveling for vacation and stuff a lot this summer, I can download a lot of that within the app of the Disney Plus. So now Netflix too. There's programs on Netflix that she likes. She's obsessed with this show called Gabby's Dollhouse.
Yeah.
And watches every episode, watches the songs on YouTube, and has Gabby's cat ear. Like, she's just all about this show. You can download everything into the apps, self-contained. So if you're not connected, if you're driving, if you're flying, whatever, you have all of that stuff. So I just will go and do that now since I have those services. You download it within the app. So I'm not buying as much as the Disney stuff as I used to because there's no need to. I can just get it from there. But I am buying copies of the movies that I have the physical copies for because I just would rather be able to stream it rather than having to go get the physical media.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
If I have to, I'll gladly go down. I still have Blu-ray players hooked up in my on certain TVs. I'll pop it in there and I'll watch it off there if I have to. Because if I can't find it anywhere, or if the rental price is still ridiculous, like it's $14.99 to rent. That movie is 30 years old. I'm not paying $15 to rent the movie. But anyway, went through, scanned a bunch of stuff, bought some. I'll tell you what I bought. You can tell me if it's good or not.
I was gonna say I used this service I think last week when I wanted to watch Red Planet, and I was like, well, I don't have it streaming. I'm gonna go ahead and do the little service. Paid my $2. It was to own it for $2 digitally rather than spend. I think it was $3.99 on Amazon to rent it in HD. No. Especially if I have access to it and I can just put it in my digital library. I'm gonna do that because I'm like you. I have shelves of movies. I've got all this stuff. I buy physical media. I even bought a movie twice because I like the box art better on both of them. So I bought it twice. That's why you got an extra code today that I sent you. It's just one of those things.
I gotta go take care of that.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, I'll buy it. I'll support physical media, but man, I will go out of my way to not pop it into a disc player. Like I will just sit there and find a digital copy every time.
Here's what I recently bought. I bought Spider-Man Far From Home because I realized I didn't have it. I have all the other stuff. I didn't have that. I bought the 3 Naked Gun movies.
Of course.
I bought My Fellow Americans with James.
Oh, we were just talking about that last night.
James Garner.
Shit, do I have to get it so we can watch
James Garner, Jack Lemmon, and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
I bought that. I bought Josie and the Pussycats because fuck you, I like that movie.
I like that movie. I love the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's fantastic. I bought the unrated director's cut of Eurotrip.
Damn it.
$2.
He's just trying to feed his robo kids.
I got the director's cut uncensored version, which is, I don't know if I've ever seen this version of Inglourious Bastards.
I don't think I've seen that cut either.
So I have that, and then
like I say, I'm liking your list.
and then I bought.
I want to watch all these.
Clue.
Okay.
Because I realized I didn't have a digital copy of Clue. So yeah, that's the stuff that I bought. I have currently on my wish list, I have 148 movies I still need to buy.
Jesus. Yeah, because it caps you, I think, per month, where you can only do so many.
Yeah.
I know it caps you per year.
It does?
Yeah, I think you can only do so many in a year.
Oh.
So I think you may hit it eventually if you're going to keep this up.
Maybe. I mean, there's some good sales going on that I don't need to do the coding. Because some of the movies were already $5, so I just bought them through the regular sale. Like, I'll tell you this right now, a good bad movie, Moonfall.
I love that movie. I have it on. I bought the physical disc.
$5.
It's the dumbest movie.
Yeah,
I will tell everybody to watch it.
I love Moonfall.
Aaron in the chat is saying it's about 100 a year.
Okay, I'm nowhere near that yet, so I'm good. In a year span or a calendar year? Because if it's a calendar year, I haven't bought movies since 2023, so I should be good. I don't know. But anyway, you can buy the movie for $5 right now through Fandango. But what else was on there? Knives Out is on sale. I have that on my list. I also put on there the Star Trek movies because I wanted to watch Voyage Home.
Yeah, because keep talking about that one.
So I'm getting all that. Anyway, fun stuff there. All right, moving on to stuff that's out right now so that you can watch and enjoy. Video on demand, if you're going to rent or buy online digital, maybe Fandango's a place to go. iTunes, wherever you go and choose that stuff. Abigail, which I actually am going to see based on Jordan's recommendation because he said it was pretty good. I'm not a big horror fan at all, but I will watch stuff if it's recommended by the right people for me to go check
I know
it out.
your movie proclivities. You're not into the gore and the blood and the guts, and there's a lot of blood in this movie. I mean, a lot.
Like this.
You might. But it's got some shining stuff that I think you might like. I mean, it's just silly.
Okay. Well, I will watch that. And then Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That was fast.
Yeah.
That's on digital for you to watch. We talked about all the stuff that's on Netflix. Madam Web went on there May 14th. I saw that posting. I think it was on Instagram. One of the media sites was like, Madam Web's now available on Netflix. And an astounding amount of comments saying absolutely not. No, I have no.
It's so bad.
I'd rather watch Morbius. You know, there's a lot of negative comments about that movie. I have no desire even to check it out. And that's not my job. I watch things good or bad so we can talk about it. I have no desire to watch that. To even talk about it. I'll just be like
I like a good bad movie.
Alone.
This is bad.
I'll leave it enough alone. Don't need to bother with that. Wait, what is Chris saying? You will buy and watch Strange Brew, you hoser. Take off to the Great White North.
I got to put that on my list. I forget.
It was funny at the time. I revisited that, I think, somewhere in the 2000s and was not funny.
Oof.
Did not like it at all. It just
Canadian Bacon. That's another one I need.
I love that movie. And the
Canadian
food,
bacon.
But not surprising to either of you. But it's John Candy, it's Rhea Perlman, from Cheers, and I forget who. And they thought that Canada was going to invade the United States.
Right. It's an entirely almost Canadian cast being Americans being mad that Canada might invade the
And
US.
aren't they like the Coast Guard at Niagara Falls or something?
Something like that.
And they set off on their inflated motorized boat to try to go and attack Canada first.
Yeah.
Is Alan Alda in that movie?
I believe
Is he the president?
I think he's the president.
I'm adding Canadian bacon to the list.
Yep. Let's see if that's on there because I want to watch that.
Okay. I'm going to just give me a second. Add Canadian bacon. Both a good movie and a tasty food. It's fantastic. I thank you for reminding me of that movie because I did love that movie. Nobody seems to have. All right, what else is out on Disney Plus? You talked about X-Men 97 episode 9's there.
Just mention it and move on.
Doctor Who.
Yep, there it is.
Season 14. Starting with
Just wait till next week after we watched it.
The 10th?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Friday, the 10th. Yeah.
Let me see. I have not been too cheerful in the comments for Doctor Who posts on Instagram. I've been rather speaking my mind because I'm just so fucking fed up with how I feel they've ruined the franchise. And then you get young people of miscellaneous walks of life telling you that you're racist or transphobe, or you're a terrible person, or you're too old, or you're fat, or you're ugly, or you're all this other stuff. All the shit from the most inclusive people that you want to be, that they say you want to be a part of. They're the ones spewing the most violent venom if you say you don't like things. Now, I've been showing you and Hollywood agent Rob Stark some screen caps of conversations that I've had.
Always fun.
Now, we know how the internet works. People usually go from 1 to 1,000 and they start saying fuck you or really terrible things. The comments that I make, not even to people, addressing the posting for Doctor Who, the comments I make, I think, are very tame at most.
You're very reserved, which is surprising.
Because one of them, I just said it was like, his outfits keep getting worse.
I think what you like to do kind of almost just passive aggressive, where you can just mention something so innocuous, but they're so hyped up about it that it gets under their skin and then it festers. And that's when they get very indignant about what you said.
There's a scene where he's wearing something that looks like it came from Sears and Roebuck, where the cut goes down. It's gray and like lime green and some kind of pink thing too, like pink stripes in it. And the neck cut goes down, like, see where my zipper is for my hoodie here on the screen?
Yeah.
Sorry, radio people, it's a visual thing. But see how low this goes? This is his normal shirt.
Yeah.
Like, this is the neck of the shirt.
Very deep V cut.
Yeah. Like way too
button.
deep. And I'm like, I just look at it like, ew, what a terrible outfit. And then some of his other outfits, they're awful. The Doctor has... like, we'll change costumes based on storylines or whatever, but has like a couple iconic set outfits for them for each Doctor. You know what's the one or two basic outfits for each Doctor. They're infamous. This guy is now a fashionista. I call him Dr. Fabulous because that's how he acts, and that's the whole mindset and the cadence for the character now and how all this goes. Like, he pops out of the TARDIS. He's like, give me all the loving, people. And you're like, ew. Ew, the Doctor doesn't talk that way. Nobody talks that way. On the show he came from, they may talk that way, but that's not for Doctor Who. But then you get the showrunner and you get the current fan base of this saying, well, the rest of the world just needs to catch up because we've moved on and this is where we're at now. It's like, no, that's where you're at and you think everybody else needs to be at, and that's not the case. Because let me tell you something. No problems with their way of life and what they're thinking, but they're thinking that the entire world has to conform to that. The rest of the world, not very kind to those people. Not at all. So
would you be surprised to know that I was debating whether or not to put this on this list, just knowing that this was going to happen?
Well, there you go. I didn't want to say it, and you go, just mention it, and now here we are.
I was just mentioning what we wanted.
The most vicious I got with a comment was, this show better turn dark again at some points. Don't need this happy Broadway crap all the time. I feel that way because there's singing and dancing numbers and there's all this, theater mindset going on into this thing. And I go, this is just, and they removed a lot of his trauma and his dark past because now he's dealing with being more positive and living a happy life, and the Doctor deserves to live a happy life. And it's like you're doing this mental illness cosplay shit in there too. This is not a show I recognize anymore. I will watch it in an attempt to try to understand it. Hopefully there's some really cool fucked up stuff in this that'll be like, wow, they still have elements of the things that I like in here. I may have to tap out after this season. I don't know. I thought I was going to tap out during the female Doctor run, and she wasn't even the worst part of it. She was fine. The showrunner and the storylines around everything were complete garbage for 4 years. We shall see. We shall see. I'm going to be shit posting tonight, thanks to Jordan for this thing.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so yeah, new Doctor Who is going to be there and involves the Beatles because, of course, it has to. In theaters, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know what number this is in succession of the movies.
It's the fourth one. It's the fourth of the newer versions.
Okay, so there's that. And then Transformers the movie, the G1 1986 movie, is back in theaters on Wednesday the 15th to celebrate, the 40th anniversary?
I believe so, yeah.
Of the movie. And that movie was so traumatizing for a kid because it was the first time they made such a major transition in the show that you know and love. They killed off characters and brought in new things. And so when the fall came around and you got the new season of Transformers, most of the shit you knew from the show was gone. It's all new stuff. You had a couple of characters that lingered, like Soundwave was still there.
Prime, man. It's like, come on.
Yeah, they really went to town, and I applaud them for that to this day, about how they changed all of that stuff. But you can go back if you want that theater experience again to ruin your childhood once again. Go see the Transformers movie, the original animated movie, in theaters. That stuff's coming up in a couple of weeks. All right, let's plow through the news and the highlights here because we are running late. WrestleMania 41, not 4. That was a long time ago. WrestleMania 41 announcement came out that it's going to be taking place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, April 19th and 20th. Tickets are set to go on sale soon, but they just made the announcement at their recent pay-per-view Backlash, which was in Paris, France for the first time that they did a pay-per-view there.
Yep, I just saw that.
They packed an indoor attendance record for that. So good for them. WWE is just killing it for the last couple of years. They're a very hot commodity at the moment. If you saw the Ted movies and you like them, did you know there was a Ted series? You should. We've been talking about it for a while. It's available on Peacock. If you have not seen the Ted series, it's sort of a prequel. It still involves Seth MacFarlane as Ted, but it has a younger version of Mark Wahlberg's character. I can't think of the kid's name in the show. But anyway, it's based on them being like in his teenage years with Ted. Was fantastic. It's not really toned down in any way. It's pretty graphic, pretty raunchy. They just said season 2 is definitely going to happen. So we don't have a date or time yet, but season 2 will be coming to Peacock for Ted season 2. Speaking of other season 2s, Frasier season 2 from the revival of Frasier is underway. They're starting to film. Kelsey Grammer posted some video of him on a set somewhere that it's happening. Roz is back, his old producer, friend, I don't know, maybe future love interest, who knows, is back in there. I watched it's like 6 or 8 episodes. It's available on Paramount. Wasn't bad. It still has the essence of Frasier. It's missing some things.
Better than I thought. I feel like it's missing his dad. Like, I know he's dead and, the character had passed and stuff like that. I feel like
he needs
they're
more.
Missing that piece of him.
The son being the opposition as opposed to his dad being the opposition is not quite the same because the son is still a bit of a wet blanket. But if you managed to get Niles back in there and you managed to get some of those elements where Frasier is the best when he's righteous and pompous and a know-it-all and everything, but then you need that something like that gut punch or something that cuts him off at the knees to bring him back to reality, which was his dad, who was fantastic. That John Mulaney guy. Was it John Mulaney?
John Mahoney.
Sorry. John Mahoney was the best on that show. Like, you loved Frasier's dad for all of that stuff. So Frasier season 2 is coming. I'm excited about that. The Witcher, I know that's very beloved, both in video game and Netflix form, is going to end after season 5. What will Henry Cavill do? He's losing properties and franchises.
He already lost his property.
Right. So that is to come. Northern Exposure. If you don't know what that is, I don't blame you. But it was a very successful television show on CBS in the 90s. Won a slew of Emmys. Like, it was so critically acclaimed, and it was a ratings juggernaut for 6 seasons. Has not been on any streaming services, and I believe it's because of music rights. They couldn't clear the songs that were in the show. Now, there's a character on the show that is it takes place in a sleepy Alaskan town, and there is a character on there who was a radio DJ, and he would play music. Some of the scenes would be taking place with him at the radio station, or his show was on in the background while other things were going on in the town.
Right.
So it just out of nowhere showed up on Amazon Prime, and somebody noticed and like, hey, there was no publicity, there was no push for this thing. It's there. I don't know if they cleared the music rights or if they're going to do a hatchet job to it like they did with WKRP, because they didn't have a lot of the rights because they were playing real music. Real bands and stuff when that show was on, and had to put in generic nonsense. So,
well, they did that with Scrubs too. They couldn't clear a lot of the rights. So when Scrubs went streaming, most of the music that was handpicked for when it released on NBC never made it to streaming. So it felt off.
Some of those things were to show you like the emotional situation that was going on with like Dr. Cox or JD or whatever.
And they get like, boom, 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 boom.
There's one episode where the guy from Men at Work is following him around.
I
playing,
love that episode.
I do too. I've been walking in my sleep, feeling like that whole thing there. Imagine they couldn't clear that, so they had to put something else in there. They had to put in like a cover band's version while the guy is walking around singing his own song.
Day after day, he appears. So good.
It's Overkill, right? Isn't that the name of the song? Yeah. Fast 9. 11. Sorry, I keep getting that wrong. Fast XI. 11.
Did you learn your Roman numerals in school?
Apparently not. Rocky 4 plus Rocky 3 equals Rocky 7. Adrian's Revenge. That's a deep cut.
That is good.
Will be released in 2026. So it was filming. It starts filming early next year. It's coming out in 2026. Which will be exactly the day 25 years since the first one came out. If you still care about that franchise at all, you've got 2 more movies. You got 10 and 11 coming. So 11 is 10. Going to be underway at the beginning of next year. And speaking of dumb Vin Diesel franchises, he has a new Riddick movie moving forward for start shooting in the fall. Why? I don't know. The first one was okay. Pitch Black wasn't bad. The second one I think kind of sucked. So you got another Riddick movie. What bugs me is Vin Diesel tries to be a tough guy in all these movies, but he's like the laziest tough guy. He has no definition. He has no like muscle tone at all. You think he would put any effort in there for the movie roles he's been playing. He's that thing that even Family Guy makes fun of. The
like schlubby.
The out of shape, in shape guy. You know, like from the 50s and the 40s movies where they'd have the belt buckle up over their belly button and you're like, I'm the tough guy and everything, but they're really not. They're just big fat schlubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Superman unveiled. You got the first look at the new Superman starring David Cornswet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Another British guy being the Man
American.
of Steel.
Okay. The photo that's out there, he's just like tying his boots on and sitting there while
sitting there.
There's like some kind of major chemical reaction going on in the sky. Is that Brainiac or something that's supposed to be?
No one knows. I think that's the rumors, but no one knows for sure.
So something cataclysmic is happening in the sky, and he's just putting on his boots, and people need to find something to complain about. And it's like, why is he so nonchalant about whatever's going on outside the window? He should be more urgent and aware of what's going on. It's like, it's a fucking promotion. They're just showing off the outfit. Go fuck yourself.
Which is also another thing that people were pissed about. I'm just like, all right.
Why?
Who cares?
Because they were just showing
it looks like it's not made to fit him. It looks weird. There's like shoulder pads. People were comparing it to the costume design to Guardians. So it means James Gunn is lazy on what he wants to see. And it's like, all right, find more things to complain about.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
I hate
it's DC people. Like, they're just very upset about their beloved franchise.
I hate fans of everything.
Superman sucks.
If you're a fan of something, I automatically think less of you. He's like, oh, I'm a big fan of. All right, I already know that you're an asshole. You could be the nicest person in the world in real life, but I know you're an asshole because you're a fan of whatever.
Yeah,
it's just the way the world is right now. We need to talk about the fact that we are, the days of cutting the cord and being free of cable and things like that. Seems like we're heading right back to it.
We're coming back.
At an amazing trajectory. Because, check this out. Warner Brothers owns HBO Max.
Correct.
Disney Plus, owned by Disney. Hulu, owned by Disney. I think this is the year that Comcast, their ownership in it expires. I think this is their last year. CBS has already been long gone because they got Paramount. So Max is now bundling with Disney and Hulu to save money to get more people to subscribe. Disney and Warner Brothers Discovery are teaming up on a streaming bundle. The two entertainment giants will launch a bundle this summer that combines Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max streaming services. Specific pricing is still being determined, but there will be both ad-free and ad-supported options for the bundle. The deal between the companies is significant as Max Disney Plus bundle is filling a niche not currently served in the market. In their announcement, the companies are framing the bundle as the best value in entertainment. Let me tell you what this is. This is not as exciting as when they made Who Framed Roger Rabbit and you saw Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse together. It's not that kind of hybrid partnership between Warner Brothers and Disney. This is HBO Max and Disney are like, we've either plateaued or we're not doing well, and we need to get more people generated on this stuff. People are already freaking out that Disney's starting their password crackdown next month. Mm-hmm. That's happening. And the Warner Brothers also announced that they're increasing their prices.
It's like they just can't get out of their own way.
So Warner Brothers is looking to add additional opportunities for cost cutting and raising prices for its Max streaming platforms. Bloomberg News reported on Wednesday, citing people with knowledge on the matter. The cost cutting plans could include possible layoffs at the media company, which has already been had eliminated more than 2,000 positions over the past year since Discovery took over. So we had said Discovery and Warner Brothers are not doing well. Discovery doesn't know what to do and screwed everything up with this merger. Warner Brothers was not doing well to begin with. They've screwed up a lot of things, mostly because of their DC movies being complete flops all the time. So now you got two companies that are kind of working together because they need Disney's streaming service, as good as it is not getting the numbers that Netflix is getting. So they want to increase all the potential opportunity for new markets, for new subscribers to come in. This also ties in with what we've been talking about, that everything's merging together and you're going to be left with 2, maybe 3 entertainment entities going forward. We know Disney's one of them. No one's going to outdo Disney. The second one we thought might be Universal. Could still be. But the third one is up for grabs. I was thinking Sony at one point too.
But remember we learned last week that Sony put that cash bid on Paramount Plus.
Right.
So Sony may still be putting in to be that third mega,
Paramount eliminates Viacom, CBS from being a major player in all of this. Warner Brothers Discovery's eventually going to have to let go of Warner Brothers or something and let them be absorbed. Now, I don't know if Warner Brothers with Disney seems to be making more sense if Disney took over Warner Brothers, but it could also go through Universal. They're not going anywhere. They're doing fine.
Well, it almost makes sense to go to Universal because you got Universal Studios is big with the Harry Potter franchise, which is a Warner Brothers property. It would make no sense to do that kind of a combo with someone else. Right. And then you're stuck with all these different, it muddies the waters. It's too much.
Yeah. It's you're going to see in the next year to 2, you're going to see some major changes, and we're down to 2, maybe 3 entities. Which brings us back to what we were saying at the beginning. It's all going back into bundles, which is cable. Because remember,
we're reinventing cable.
Cable used to have bundles for when you'd have free preview weekends. It's like, hey, you get HBO for the weekend. If you sign up now, you get HBO.
Love those weeks.
Everybody did, because then you get to watch dirty movies in your room without your parents seeing you. It's like you get this bundle, you'll get HBO Cinemax, or if you get this bundle, it's free Showtime weekend. You get Showtime and the Movie Channel together. Remember the Movie Channel? I don't even think that exists anymore.
No, I don't think it does either.
But you would get these kind of bundle things. Now it's like, hey, you can get HBO, you can get Max, you can get Disney, you can get Hulu all together for. Look, I wouldn't mind paying $30 a month if I had all 3 services. That would be fine for me. Yeah, but some of my services come free because I have cable still, or because of my cell phone provider or something like that. Some of these services I'm not paying for because it's bundled in with my phone or my cable or whatever else it is. But for everybody else out there, You're turning it back to cable. Everything back in one spot. You're paying one fee, and it's all right there in one spot, which is what Netflix was at the end of the 2000s. They had everybody's stuff streaming, and then everybody yanked their shit because they thought they could do it themselves.
And then a lot of it's going back to Netflix.
Yeah.
If you look on Netflix, they have a big dump of content coming in from the Warner Brothers Max side, where you're getting a lot of those shows back.
I'll give you a great example. This show, Young Sheldon, which is on CBS, does very well. Apparently, it's amazing ratings for it on television for people who still watch traditional television. Young Sheldon is a top tier show. They also have the streaming availability on Paramount because CBS owns Paramount. CBS are all together under Viacom, so you can watch the CBS programming under Paramount there. They also have Young Sheldon on, I think, on Hulu and on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Young Sheldon on Netflix does gangbusters. More so than it is streaming on their own home service on Paramount.
Isn't that crazy?
Insane. So that's where it's all heading. Also, since we're talking about condensing things, there's a study out right here. Do you want to talk about this, about the ideal movie runtime?
So they did a survey of about 2,000 people by a company called Talker Research that they deemed that 92 minutes was the ideal length for a movie's runtime.
Right.
That hasn't been the case with a lot of these movies lately. You got things like, Dune Part 2, a secondary companion piece to another movie that was already very long, almost, 3 hours long. A lot of these movies now, if you see them, aren't in any, 120 minutes is the shortest movies lately.
Okay.
Abigail did it right, and that's why I think I liked it so much, is that it was 95 minutes. It was just quick and easy, get it done. Let's see. There's increasingly, if we look at the top 5 highest grossing movies of last year, the Super Mario Brothers actually hits the mark precisely. Barbie was under 2 hours. Top 10 highest grossing movies ever. Not a single one sits below the 2 hour mark. Something only 15% of those polled would even want to sit through in the first place.
Okay.
Let's see. Only 2% of people think that movies should be longer than 2.5 hours. Adding to this, nearly a quarter of those polled said they have reluctantly sat through at least 3 movies with the past 2 months that they felt were too long. So a lot of people are just saying we want shorter movies.
I agree. To a certain extent, I agree. 90 minutes seems to be great. If you can do between 90 to 2, even a 2 hour movie, if the movie's good, I'm not complaining about it.
No.
The 3 hour movie should be for special edition stuff. Case in point, Marvel. Infinity War and Endgame, both 3 hour movies. Both made sense.
They needed to be. Yeah.
They needed to be. And
they never
sense.
felt long either.
They didn't, because there was so much going on. People putting out movies just for the sake of, I'm going to go 3 hours. That's a lot. It's a lot to ask of people to watch a movie.
Yeah.
To go to a theater now, to spend their money to go to a movie, or being at home when they can watch not only your movie, but millions of other films, television shows, podcasts, video games. There's so much you're competing at home. You're asking a lot for somebody to take their time to sit there and watch your movie at 3 hours.
Yeah.
Now, it kind of worked for Oppenheimer because it was a period piece.
And that was an event movie, though. That was a big
Yes, an
thing.
event movie.
There was no reason. Barbie shouldn't be 3 hours long.
No.
Oppenheimer makes sense. You can tell a 90-minute story and do it well if the script is there, the acting is done, and the story is tight and concise. A lot of these movies do these 2.5 hour movies that they just put a lot of filler in. You can take out parts of that movie and make it just as fine. So I think it's just director hubris at that point.
Our pal Chris in the chat saying these are the same people that wanted the pitch clock in baseball. Heaven forbid you enjoy a day outside with your family at a ball game for 3 hours. No, get me home in an hour and a half. Technology has made people have the shortest attention spans now. Yeah.
Baseball Quibi.
Yeah. Look, I don't mind baseball being shorter. I really don't, because I might actually go back and watch it again after all these years. It was.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been to a few games since they've instituted the pitch clock, and it's been the most enjoyable time I've ever had. Because frankly, I don't like being there longer than I need to be.
I don't like going there at all. That's why I have not been. I think the last time I went was the 2006. When were the Mets in the playoffs again for the World Series? 2006. I went with my brother somewhere around there. I think that was the last time I was ever at a baseball game. But nonetheless. All right. So, yeah, I'm all about movie lengths being shorter. It makes a lot of sense unless they're an event film, event piece where you have the right to be longer. Or look, if it's 1, 2, 3 parts and it's like 2 hours each, like Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah,
then
spread it out.
Okay, spread it out a little bit. I'll watch them when I can. Moving on. Really, do
the Marvel thing. It ties in kind of with the movie length. This is the same kind of stuff. Save that for later.
Okay, because that one's stupid. All right. Marvel will release no more than...
Now, no, go back. Read that one. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck are you doing to me? I'm not reading Jar Jar Binks. Marvel is going to release no more than 3 movies and 2 shows per year, according to CEO Bob Iger, that the company is shrinking the MCU with a new mission to drop the number of Marvel TV series to 2 a year and the film output no more than 3 movies per year. It's part of the overall strategy to reduce output and focus on quality, a strategy that's particularly true with Marvel. We're slowly going to decrease the volume and go to probably about 2 TV. It's just repeating the same shit over and over. All right, so the gist of it is that they're looking to focus more on quality than quantity, which they should have been doing since. It's like after they ended Endgame, they had all this content. It's like, oh, we can move on and evolve to the next generation of stuff, which is great. But then they didn't know what to do. It's like, oh, we got to do it all at once. And then some shit, didn't make sense. Like the WandaVision thing was fun, but I was like, really? That's the way I had to do it? The only thing I really liked out of the television stuff, I think, has been Loki.
Yeah, I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier, but Loki was my favorite.
That was boring. The Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. I know that's buddy cop, street level, superhero stuff. I get the purpose of it, but I just found it boring.
Yeah.
Like the movie that's coming out, we got another Captain America movie coming out next year.
Right.
I think,
right? New World Order or something like
that. What's his name that's playing Captain now?
Anthony Mackie.
Thank you. Anthony Mackie. His version of Captain should be willing to go in and get the serum done. And be the superhero, not the trying to do it because human ingenuity and determination, and that's going to overcome everything. That's not why people liked Captain America. They liked that what he stood for, but that's not. It was also the fact that he could get the shit kicked out of him and then kick the shit out of other people and still be standing and moving when other people can't do that. He's a super soldier. Making a regular military guy, Captain America now seems kind of dumb. We'll see. Hopefully in that movie, he winds up taking the serum and becoming a super soldier, because I can't see it continuing past that point. But what do I know? I definitely think this is a great job that they're doing to have that structure. And I wonder what they're going to eliminate, because they've already got the ball rolling on Fantastic Four and they've got the ball rolling on X-Men. Deadpool comes out in 2 months? Yeah, July, right?
July.
Comes out in 2 months, and that's tied into X-Men, so that's moving that property along.
I know they're doing a Black Panther 3. They have already talked to Ryan Coogler to do a third one, and they might, and this is rumored, so I didn't really put it in here too much, they might be getting him to do the X-Men movie too.
Okay, that's fine.
Which I don't care.
Do what you got to do. Just keep the shit coming, and you don't have to worry about Kang anymore.
Yeah.
Unless Kang's going to go by the wayside, or if they get a different version of Kang to take over, which is fine. You just don't have Jonathan Majors anymore, and you don't have to build shit around him.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy. Imagine if Morton Downey Jr. Oh my God, how old?
No, I love that reference. Please use Morton Downey Jr.
Morton Downey Jr. as Iron Man would be. Oh my God.
There's a Photoshop I need to work on.
Robert Downey Jr. Imagine he fucked up. Like, look, Iron Man's going to be the centerpiece of everything we're going to do for the next 3 phases. Now, we're going to bring in Cap. We're going to bring in the Avengers. We're going to do all this stuff, but it all centers around Tony Stark. Imagine he fucked up after the first movie. Like if he pulled a Terrence Howard. Or if he just, fucked up in his real life and had the same personal issues that Jonathan Majors had, Marvel wouldn't be where it is right now.
Yeah.
And then you rest all your laurels on this guy, like you're going to be the big bad. We're going to focus on you. And you fucked that up. Oh, people are human. No, you're an idiot. You just cost yourself hundreds of millions of dollars, merchandising, appearance fees, all of that. It's all gone. Nobody wants, oh, you were Kang once. Yeah, but didn't you hit a woman? Nobody's going to go and sign for your shit anymore.
Gotta stop putting that on my resume.
Stop putting it on the banner at my Comic-Con appearance.
Special skills. Why the hell's Virgil here?
Moving on.
Get off my banner.
We talked about Fantastic Four is moving along. They cast John Malkovich. Do we know who his character is? I don't think they said, right?
Nope, nothing yet.
It's scheduled. Fantastic Four is scheduled to be out July of next year. They also announced they cast. I don't know who this guy is. Ralph Ineson.
You may recognize him if you saw him. He's been in things like The Witch. I think he played a character in the Game of Thrones series. He's done a lot of characters. He's got a very deep voice.
Okay, then this is probably a great choice.
Good casting.
He's not going to be like the fact that they had Josh Brolin as Thanos. It wasn't Josh Brolin taking away from the character because you just keep seeing Josh Brolin. You know, He was CGI'd enough that you forgot he was playing Thanos. Even as Cable, when he was as Cable, he was, dressed up enough that you weren't really sidetracked by him being that character. If you had a major celebrity coming in right now to play Galactus, one of the major entities in Marvel, you'd be focusing on this celebrity's playing Galactus. Having and this is no disrespect to the guy, a more of a mid-level actor who has characters that aren't super well-known or super famous, or him being super recognized in a lot of things, I think is perfect to take on this iconic role, because if he does it right and the movies go the right way, he's going to be known as Galactus, going forward. Yes, no, maybe so.
I think so. I think the rumors that were going around with Javier Bardem, actually, I didn't want him to be that role. Not so much that I don't like him as an actor. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think what happens is
every time before he eats a planet, he's like, "Hello, friendos." And you're
hello,
like,
friendo. Makes you flip a coin. You're like, God damn it! Can we just hurry this up?
We're not doing that.
But yeah, there's just things about him. That's Ralph Ineson.
Okay.
So he's been in some stuff. I've seen him in a lot of things, but by name, obviously, you don't know who he is, which I think is going to serve better for this, because they've already stacked the cast with so many people that you're going to be like, okay, what's the next big actor that they're going to, try to fit into this? And now you've got a semi-unknown guy going to be one of literally the biggest characters in the MCU. And I think that's going to be good.
All right. Well, I think this is very smart on their part. Somebody who's sort of recognizable, but not taking away, like distracting from the character creation, debut, and development over time, that you're not starting to think, look, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, you saw Robert Downey Jr., but then he became more Tony Stark than Robert Downey Jr. For something that big, I think was going to be an issue, but I'm glad they're going that route. Let's see what else we have. Andy Serkis is going to direct the new Lord of the Rings movie.
You didn't see this?
No.
That's exciting. I wasn't sure you saw the Fantastic Four stuff, but yes. So the first of two new Lord of the Rings movies is coming. Working title for this is going to be Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Is going to be directed and star Andy Serkis. Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens is going to write, and Peter Jackson is going to produce. So they're going to get kind of the old band back together and do a whole new Lord of the Rings movie.
Is he still going to be Gollum?
He's going to be. That's what he's going to. Yeah, he's going to be Gollum and direct it. Now, Andy Serkis is a director. He's done some other movies. He has been the second director on a lot of the old Lord of the Rings movies and The Hobbit. So he's got, he's done a lot in that world. Peter Jackson, like I said, is going to produce. He said, "It is an honor and a privilege to track back to Middle Earth with our good friend and collaborator, Andy Serkis, who has unfinished business with that Stinker, Gollum. As a lifelong fan of Professor Tolkien's vast mythology, we're proud to be working with Mike DeLuca, blah, 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 and the entire team at Warner Brothers on another epic adventure. So there's going to be 2. Sometime this year, there's an animated movie called The War of the Rohirrim. It's about the horse riders.
War of the Roses.
War of the Roses is coming out. They're re-releasing it.
Stars Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner.
I need to rewatch that
Danny
movie
DeVito.
But
it's
yeah,
Danny DeVito now. It's Danny DeVito's character from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
He's going to get rip shit on ham.
That's the character that's coming back here. Yeah, he's going to get rip shit on ham.
Getting rip shit on ham.
Yep.
So yes, I don't know if I care about Gollum as a character that much to want a movie about him. Just seems kind of weird, but whatever.
I just want to see more like Eye of Sauron style shit. You know?
Yeah, some crazy stuff.
I want to see all the evilness. I don't care about the Hobbit's journey and getting along together. I just want to see mass destruction and armies pillaging and destroying things. That's what Lord of the Rings means to me. All right. The rest of the stuff can wait till next week. We need to get out of here. We got to do the plugs first. And as always, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
Come check me out on my other podcast. It's called the I'll Watch It Later podcast, where we watch movies we should have seen a long, long time ago. And then we saw the new stuff that's coming out. We talk about all our fun adventures that we do. Check us out on Instagram at Watch Later Pod. My Instagram is at Jinx Ronan, and you can get on YouTube at I'll Watch It Later podcast.
All right. For me, if I can get the button over there it is. For me, it's Eric Nagel across the board on all the social medias, also for the show stuff. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, any of those places, do us a kindness, go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. We would do it for you if you had a podcast and reminded us several times to go do it. Eventually, we'd get around to it. But for you, go to it now immediately. It's the most important thing you'll ever do with your life. Go and leave us a positive review. If you want to join us each and every week as we're doing said program, come hop in our live rooms there over on YouTube and in I almost said Instagram, YouTube, and over at Twitch. Go do a like and a follow. I am tired. Like and follow and subscribe. All of those things to let you know when we're on, and you can be part of said program. Thank you kindly. We do appreciate it. I think that's everything.
I think we're good.
Okay. Till the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing.
It's Eric Nagel.
I can't think of the finish. That's strange, and I can't think of anything else.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends, so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.